All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. It is Friday, Junior. It's like, what, June 5th, 2025? Well, we got an interesting day ahead because we had another day of data, jobs data, trade data. It literally is causing reactions, and we haven't seen that in a while. So pay attention to that. But then you remember that China-Trump phone call? Yeah, it already happened this morning, so we haven't got the full day of data. Oh, hi, that's me. We haven't had the full details yet, so we're going to hear a little bit more. We saw the China names moving yesterday, but essentially you got that, and then Trump is going to be meeting with Chancellor Merz of Germany, so you might get something there from EU and all of that, but when it's all said and done, data, policy, you get AI earnings with Broadcom after the bell. Should be an interesting one. So we're already near the highs. Everybody's looking at 6,000. Let's see if the news, the policy, or anything else could get us there. And again, we need to talk about the data. I'm sure we are going to talk about all of the data because, again, the last 48 hours, I think something kind of big has happened. And I really hope you guys are paying attention because it is crucial. So we only got 4 minutes until the bell. You guys are all here right now, all you beautiful people. Tell me, what is your first play of the day? What are you guys looking at? This is your time to post or play. After the bell, I will ban you because you are pumping. Well, I'm not pumping. Okay, then you're not following the rules, but post them now. Otherwise, if you ain't wake up early, I don't want to hear it, baby. So here's the deal. I'm going to be watching Nibis, NVO, Boeing, Zena, and Constellation, and that's it. Oh, yeah, let me throw in SLV. You got to throw it in for the silver boys. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be watching. I think it's going to be a simple one. Oh, there it is. UNH put selling silver calls, uncle calls, NVIDIA calls, NG, SLV calls on the beach. Tesla call, Tesla put, SLV, NQ long, MRQ long, watching SPY, Tesla long-term, Bob NVIDIA, C mine, C++, V BIX long, Humana, Tesla puts, NVIDIA, Intel for the long-term, silver, Tesla, silvers, Tesla, Boeing, NVO, Boeing, MDB, Meta, Pinduo, CoreWeave, Pizza, Mara, UNH, Broadcom calls, long-term, NFT are in the final place. Pizza. CoreWeave, J&J, Soxel, Hood, and Vitas, ONDB, Tesla, Shack, and Care 4 for the long term. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, y'all ready to go. Let's see, baby. Let's see what happens next, okay? So here's your European Lagarde. She looks great today in red. I just like the color red.
But
I need to go pee. I got a minute and a half, so get ready, baby.
So I don't see that, but neither do I say anything about future decisions, which would only be predicated on major shocks that we are not seeing at the moment. Now, on the role of the euro, I highly regard the speech that was given by my colleague and friend, Governor Panetta, Gentile Governatore, right? And I happen to be very much on the same page as he is. I gave a speech in Berlin about 10 days ago now at the Hertie School of the Jacques Delors Institute, in which I tried to identify the key pillars that would need to be consolidated and further developed if the euro was to play a critical role as an international reserve currency. And my conclusion is that there is an opportunity that is opening now. I talk to
myself in my head. I don't have to say it out
in
loud.
order to strengthen the role of the euro
last night.
As an
I got busy,
currency,
and then I was like coming back from leg day, and then I had a property. Bro, I found a crazy property again, so we'll see, man. I'm going today after the bell. I should be able to have time for a watch list tonight. You guys saw it. Fucking LT was calling me Donald Trump. But yeah, I found a crazy deal. Round 1. Fight. All right, man, let's see. Yeah, man, the Lord will provide. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Let's get through the morning, see what else happens, and then we will go from there. All right. Did SLV move? Nah. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness, they did. Fuck. Because remember, I started it off small. I wanted to go big, but I don't think silver, that's not the move. Holy shit, it's up 4%. Watch list. But other than that, yeah, that's good. You can make them free here in a little bit, unless I think I'm gonna hold them because again, I did think we were gonna have a way bigger one. The Nibises are up. You can make those free as well. So do as you please. The Nibis has a lot of time though, and then if they do that shit with CoreWeave, Again, I don't know if you realize the news. They downgraded Core Weave and then upgraded Nibis. These mother effers don't care. They're just trying to pump Nibis. That's the plot line if you're not getting it. So we'll see. Where is it? Is it going up? Let me check volume on these. APLD. I sold that one for you guys. I hope that one hits, man. I hope that one hits. All right, you got 100% on. I'm doing it, man. I have to. All right, I made Nibis free, 100%. Beautiful. Beautiful. I just want you to know you're my favorite code. All right, Airbnb going up. All right, so watch that though. Nibis, Core Weave, that's going to be one of those plays. We bought them yesterday, so we're already in it. Again, I got out of Core Weave. Maybe it's time to rotate, but either way, that's a hype play, so be very careful. That one moves hella weird. That's why I'm kind of quick to sell it, even though I think there is some opportunity. You're still full on APLD? Shut up. Oh, dude. They messed with me on the first day. That's why I didn't like them. After we hit the make it free, and then they like were weird, but then, yeah, it really, really did good. I'll check those options in a little bit. Watch Argentina stuff. Again, keep an eye out on European plays. You are going to hear from Chancellor Merz today. Yeah, coin was going up a lot right there. There's Nibis as well. So that one's still going. Yeah, bro. So I don't know. You have just under 100% on the silvers, too. It sucks because I kept telling you, I don't think this is the real move, bro. I think this is just the hype, and it's like slow. Like silver is not getting squeezy. Even though that's what I was expecting, it's not like squeezy. It's very odd right now. So keep your eye out for it. Again, if you have been on the watch list, that play came up several times. Yeah, APLD. I think, didn't APLD do a secondary offering, or that was the other company? One of these hype ones. But yeah, either way, though, that was, again, APLD got the Core Weave link. Where was my play? I forgot which ones we had. Oh, no. Yeah, they went up a little bit more, but honestly, it wasn't too much more. So I'm not, that's why I'm saying they kind of moved weird, but when they get the pop, they hit. Big volume on NVO. NVO is still up in the morning. Yeah. And then where was it? Wasn't AVGO down? Oh, yeah. That was a glitch. TTD still going up. Amazon, again, watch out for Broadcom still. And then, yeah, good idea to call out Amazon because pay attention to the lagger and leaders. Again, that Mag 7 shit. We're trying to figure that out. Man, Meta's at 690 again. So, yeah, watch out. And bonds move in. Bonds like all of the terrible data. And we are going to have to talk about that. RR is that Rich Robotics. All right, well, that's going to be small cap quantum hype play or whatever. That might be some energy. Amazon's going really crazy. Again, Amazon did come out with fucking robot shit today. So, again, AI productivity. And then Procter & Gamble fired non-manufacturing personnel. I don't know if that makes any sense. UAL on the high. Delta, Bros. Remember all the restaurants? They're still kind of up. They all had a good day yesterday, so they're not, like, too crazy. Yeah, LIMN, they just regained compliance with the NASDAQ. Okay, Nibis spreads are ripping apart right now. They just doubled the spreads by 100%. All right, now it's tightened up. Very odd. Pinduoduos, too. Those are kind of moving. Car on the high. Caesars. There's Nibis on the high. I haven't looked at travel yet. MCHP, they had earnings the other day. Again, bonds at the high. SPY near the low, but SPY is still in the green. I didn't see the Robinhood inclusion rumor. That could be good for it, though. People love those. Let's see. Equal weight. Oh, where's that other one? Zena. I want to watch that one. So 5974. I mean, we haven't hit a new high today. So remember, by yesterday, you were doing that, bro. You got filled on Nibis yesterday? Fuck yeah. Good work. Well, be safe on those. Make them free. Because, again, the last, like, 3 weeks, we've gotten hitters, but it was a lot more rough. Like, it wasn't like a month or two ago where I'm hitting everything. It just literally, you'll hit one or two, you'll lose on, like, 3 or 4, but the 1 or 2s pay for it. But you do got to be a little bit more tight there. Because, again, we're in, like, a weird weird pin for the last 2 weeks. So, and that's why I've been kind of adjusting, getting time. So even those Nibises, we have till July. So yeah, those are all running now, well over 100%. GG's. Wait. Okay, and then watch for the low. I'm trying to get all this shit up. Yeah, bro, Bitcoin hasn't even made a damn move. Coin going up on Circle IPO. So get ready though. I think Circle IPO, a lot of people are hyped. Just be ready to get disappointed. Have low expectations, have a high standard, and you'll be fine. But other than that, I'm not expecting like the craziest shit from that. VPG. Again, Airbnb has been going straight up too the last couple of days. There's Nibby. I didn't mention, I mentioned Nibis, but I didn't tell you guys the play. That's only for the stream alerts. And stream alerts and everything will come back when you guys stop bullying me for Jesus, and then you start sharing the channel and stop gatekeeping. I had homie yesterday. He has like 50, 60,000 followers on Twitter. The only time he has ever mentioned the cult was to complain. So yeah, but other than that, that was only stream alerts, unfortunately. But it was nice. Oh, that's Bradley Frizzle. Alerts in the peach. Stop it. Or not. Woo! Amen. Wow, I feel early. That feel like an early peach, you know? Oh my, we are blessed, brothers. You know that? We are blessed. Absolutely, truly blessed. How you living, Bradley Frizzle? How do you feel about this spending bill? Do you think it's too many peaches? You know, that's a good question. Waze, OSK on the high. That was actually just starting to move. I like Boeing, but Boeing this week, again, I'm glad we took our sell, but it's kind of been chilling. Navi on the high. Oscar Health still, again, Nibis is just killing it. I know, man. It's sad. I do it. That's what I do. So, like, anytime, like, on Twitter, you'll see the people, and they'll always, like, talk shit recently. And then, like, you could go, there's a search bar on everyone's profile, and then you could search what they've typed on their anytime they tweet. And I'm like, wow, your guys' only interaction was to complain? That's it? Not anything in the last 5 years? It's just, you mad now, though, but you didn't say any, love before? Not nothing, bro. That's crazy. So, yeah. Damn, Tesla's down 4.5? Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Tesla's down 4.7. Boeing, honestly, every candle has been red this morning except for Nibis. I'll get you guys a checkup in a little bit. It's only been 9 minutes, but damn. Yeah, Tesla's on the low. I kind of like it, though. It looked like it's about the child support again. EFX, gold. Yeah, bro, it's a scam. You guys didn't see it in the morning? So literally, the guys who upgraded Nibis, they downgraded CoreWeave. You can't make this up. I'm telling you. So I think a lot of people were getting the idea. We knew about it. How many times have we talked about Nibis kind of being the ghetto sympathy, right? And then finally after CoreWeave, but sadly, like, this was just one little firm that kind of did this today. Oscar's ripping. We saw that the other day. SPY going lower. Bonds are signaling cuts, or a little bit more cuts. Just after the data, remember yesterday, even this morning now, jobless claims and all that. And then, you're dumping, bro. So 5963. All right, that's the low of the day. I want to see that one. LAR on the high. Yeah, Zena, I'm looking at that one right now. I'm just checking the volume. I saw it in the morning. That's why I don't want to really play it, but I'll get you guys. VWAP is at 475. So, yeah, you're trading above VWAP. Those little penny stock scam ones, though, like, not going to lie, buying VWAP, kind of good. But above VWAP, that's just going to be your risk. So yeah, but that one's running there. It's like a drone for service headline. Again, drones are very popular as of late. 5 on the high. Oh, I forgot about 5. Yeah. Again, 5. Damn, that one's already up 12 though. Didn't we play that the other day? Zena News with military. Oh wow, the 5s are expensive. Yeah, you need another 12. It's really expensive. Yeah, precious metals, again, gold. And think about it, ECB cut rates today. So keep that in mind. Like, again, part of the whole, gold is betting on the price of money everywhere. You just had another rate cut. Palantir, Popper. All right, Palantir waking up 1.5. It was already up, but starting to move off of that. Come on. I need to plug in the other one, dude. We're gonna have to switch back eventually. Actually, no, I won't do that then. Alright, we got the Nibis is still holding up. I'm actually surprised. It hasn't even, it's gonna fade eventually, but for the morning, that one's still going. Yeah, Nibis 45. Yeah, bros, yes. Honestly, bros, because I don't think the other ones are going. Look, Sweet Green Pizza. I think Kava's doing a little bit better, but yeah, bros is like holding out of all the restaurants. I like that. Then SPY near the low, bonds again, mix of the what's it called, the bad data. The CNN's putting out the Zeke phone call thing. Remember, we don't know the details, so they said that they're doing the call, but we have no idea. SMR nuclear on the high, Nibis again, something else was popping. SMR, there's another one, but yeah, nuclear is starting to wake up. Bro, Nibis! Yo, bro, it's great. Keep it rolling. CNBC 2. Oh yeah, where's the long term? I haven't looked yet. But yeah, you're kind of on, dude, it's been straight down from the open. So I'll get you guys a little bit here, but we gotta wait 15 minutes. I'll get you the checkup. SMR, more nuclear. Nibis is just straight, bro. Oh, long term's a little bit down today. $100. Oh yeah, well, where's Meta? Okay, well, watch those nuclears, and then SPY going down. Funco on the high. Philip Morris, IMMR, Texas, working on haptic tech to feel your body virtually. Sounds like a hype headline, but cool. So, IMMR and Texas Instruments. ANF on the high again. Foot Locker. I'm seeing a lot of retailers. I know Foot Locker's already bought out, but I feel like retail shops. Yeah, Macy's even up. ANF. Nike's. Yeah, bro, this travel stuff is weird. They literally, there's like very bad travel things. I even talked to my girl's parents from Switzerland. They're saying there's like even way less flights from in all of Europe going to America. And we've been hearing a lot of like, there's anecdotes, and then the data is actually going down. They just downgraded travel, and then all of travel started ripping. Fascinating. Okay, NVO trying to get some volume. FCX, again, Freeport. What the fuck is going on with these guys? I'm saying Freeport's kind of decent. All right, well, Nibis still holding. That's crazy, bro. Those are up almost. The spread, if you get hit on the spread, you're up 400%. Or on the ask, but there's a way bigger. It's like literally $2 spread. Nikes. All right, Guild on the high again. MDT and a couple, and Merck yesterday too. Watch Healthcare, and then you had Oscar Health going crazy. I did not talk about metals yet, no. No, well, we talked about silver. I've been talking about silver since Friday or Monday. So we made a play on that. I'm not making that one free yet, but yeah, we were talking about, you know, the price, first pop in 15 years, all that stuff. Tesla, another leg down. There's silver dropping. And the SPY, JP Morgan, Asset and Wealth Management, Erdos, we're going to have inflation, but the consumer's fine. Yeah, bro. So you guys, this is what we had last week. You're down now 30 points in literally 15 minutes. So you had a baby gap up. You rode some of the Trump China stuff. And then literally just 30 points straight down. And bonds at least like it. I think every day this week bonds have gone up, no? Except for Tuesday. So yeah, but you are still going up. There's no headline. House Johnson and Musk to speak on Thursday for tax and spending bill. Okay, Apple on the low. Tesla. Coach Scooby. Welcome, baby. All right, bigger volume on the bonds. Apple's taking a bigger candle down too. Oh, there's Zena, bro. It's way above VWAP. GG's if you got that one. Nibis is just getting all of the core wheat volume, I'm assuming. It'll eventually slip, but for now, that was kind of the idea. So again, there's names up. It sucks because it's like a pretty big move for 13 minutes in, or 15 minutes, but let's wait till the top of the hour and I'll get you that data and we'll see where we're at. But for now, I mean, it's been a good week. It was surprisingly melting hard. So I think this is, I wouldn't call it healthy, but it could be expected. But let's see what we get, though. We still haven't heard the details from the China stuff. We still going to hear from a bunch of Fed speakers. And then really, though, I do think the data. So that is what we should talk about right now. ECB projections, mild scenario of inflation, SPY still at the low, T-Mobile on the high. But yeah, let's talk about it, boys. So here's the deal. I'm going to put this on the watch list tonight, but I'm going to just tell you guys right now. Do you realize what has happened in the last 48 hours? You have something very, very exciting. I'm excited about it. It doesn't look like, it may not mean nothing to y'all, but understand a long time was done to me. So I'm going to keep saving it all, and I'm going to hold forever, hold forever. Y'all, Mr. West is in the building, long time on 100. That's it. Okay, anyways, the point is, the last 2 days, you have gotten economic data, jobs data, and the market has been reactionary to said data in terms of even the bonds as well too. So I want you to pay attention, because the thing is that everyone's keep talking about trade, and we all keep focusing on these like factors, right? But let me remind you, it's been like 3 years where everybody has been waiting for the data to start finally moving. You see what I'm saying? So just keep that. I wouldn't act on it, but be aware of it, because yesterday, today, jobless claims, continuing claims, ADP, non-farms on Friday. If we start watching it crack or it starts to change, that could be a new development, and the market is reacting, or at the very least, the bond market is. So keep that in mind. I saw that and I was just shocked. Again, yesterday, ADP, you reacted big off of it. Today, even a 10, 20,000 jobs print above, people are getting sensitive and they're starting to be like, oh, look, it's changing. And people have their eye on for that data to finally shift, but it never has over the last couple of years. So let's see where it leads us, but it is happening in real time, and that's why whatever we got now and today, I think we do have Pandora's box, the deal with MERS, details from China, anything could happen. But at the end of the day, tomorrow, non-farms Friday, I think that jobs data will confirm a lot. And if it's bad, we'll get a huge reaction. And then if it's not, if it's really in line, then just go back to whatever. But just be ready for a surprise. Not that I think a surprise is going to happen, but just more so I'm noticing the market is getting kind of sensitive to the data. So if the right data aligns, those stars align, I want you ready. And just pay attention, because it has been happening right before the Netflix on the high. I don't know what's going on there, Airbnb. Like I said, there was like really bad updates on travel in the last 48 hours, and then they all ripped, Airbnb including. Let's see. Yeah, nothing. Ohio's Airbnb scene helped generate $1.1 billion in economic activity. Clayton to consider allowing short-term rentals. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I don't see anything. Oh, diarrhea. Woo! My man, are you Chad? Y'all been turning up, man. Thank you. Thank you, bro. Shout out to everybody being real. You know what I'm saying? And getting a long term. And making it where because I imagine you come in here, bro. You guys are supposed to be the evidence of good work. So again, please get the long term. Let it show. You get a long term. You grow. Amen. So let's go, baby. MSTR slip, Airbnb, Zena, PL, Guild, bonds on the high, stocks on the low. So that is still in play. Finally pulled the trigger. Well, welcome, baby. That's it. You got the long term though, because that's again. I'm really, really excited, man. I think, bro, we're gonna have opportunities in real estate and stocks, and it's gonna play very, very well. That's what I was thinking of, man. Because you guys realize, like, look at the real estate market, and look at how people are reacting, and eventually rates and other things will happen. Who knows what happens with the spending bill? That'll be another catalyst. And it's like all of these things, man. When I'm so excited to see it, because I know when opportunity comes some of your guys' way, you're gonna have that ammo in the long term. And then, like I'm saying, if you're being diligent, you're being wise, you're getting good deals, bro, you're gonna be able to parlay that long term to a crib, the crib back to the long term, and it's a beautiful thing. And coming in here, it's the opportunity. And I think you're watching from everything where it could be inflation, stagflation, deflation. There's so many different opportunities, and that could move things around. So I want you safe, prepared, and hopefully you guys all walk away with in a good position and being able to take care of your families. And that is the goal. Netflix, I think, because there's a new, isn't there a new season of Wednesday? So I don't know if that's what justifies the $1,200, but yeah. I guess they can't get tariff. I'll pay the flag. Thank you, baby. Welcome back. How is the new job? Airbnb, anything, man. I can't wait for this summer to see what actually goes down. I can't wait. We're going to have our cash, and we'll see. Maybe it's going to be the names we already know about, or maybe we get something new, bro. For the culture, baby. Amen. Amen. Chad, even though Donald Trump banned travel on us because we're Chads, but still. I know, dude. People were lining up outside of GameStop for the Switch 2. You know that? I haven't seen that since Madden with Michael Vick on the cover. Madden 2004. You know that? It blew my mind. Literally, bro, they were lining up in front of GameStop. A bunch of nerds just waiting to get the Switch 2. It only has one game. I don't get it, but yeah, I was very impressed, bro. I said, wow. Yeah, I was like, dude, I haven't seen them line up in front of like the video game store in a minute, bro. It's good to see. Those are good times. Those are good times. You're trying to get one? Are they rare? Nice. So what? I'll buy one. I'll overpay for one, and I'll buy one, and then I'll give it away to the Chad if you want one. Oh, that's a good one. The flippers, that's fine. Fuck I'll pay for it. I'll give it to you. Let's see. But yeah, other than that, though, I was just more impressed that they were waiting outside. It made me excited. I said, that's amazing. All right, spy near the low. Oh, Bitcoin, you guys. I know, was that PNC calling out? Someone kept calling MSTR, but look at that. Bro, Bitcoin just knifed like $2,000. And then bonds still up, MDT. And then, yeah, and then homeboy who said a 3-month plan for house just set in your mind you're going to get a house. And don't delay, but do not rush yourself nor put yourself in a box or like a time frame. You know what I'm saying? Because for real, that's been the problem, that in the short term, you guys, you know, this year, I think some of you saw your long term, you got excited, you listened, you started getting houses, you were shopping. Some of you already knew the plan, right? And then after the first decline, the first mistake I saw, you know, several hundred Chads make is that right when the market went down, they stopped shopping. And then they got a little scared. And then they, you know, again, they started doubting their aim when they shouldn't have, right? That was the first mistake. The second mistake I've seen here in the last 6 months with Chads trying to buy homes is that they are not being patient. They are literally hearing me say it, and I agree, it's good stuff. I'm not trying to influence you. I want you guys to do it the right way, you know? So I'm telling you, buy a house. That is the goal. That is exactly what you're going to do with your long term. There's no question about that, but you don't need to force it. It's not going to be, I have to get a house in a month, 3 months, 6 months, 10 months. No, it doesn't matter. It's about getting a high value property, a good property with a good deal and good equity. All right. Because this is the thing I've been seeing is that people are like, Josh, I'm either they're already in escrow, or they'll email me and I'm like, why do you want this house? I'm like, look, they're like, it's the most expensive in the neighborhood. No house is sold that expensive. And then literally, if you've only seen 5 houses sell in the last 6 months in that area, like, dude, that's going to take a long time. Why are you paying above? MDT, they're getting volume, but yeah, low ticker, you got hood, you have everything on the low right now. I'm seeing banks, Hood, Russell, small caps, financials, materials, furniture, consumer, Apple. Yeah, bro, you got everything. Almost everything's going down. A multifamily? No, just any loan that you qualify the income of the property. It's very easy to finance multifamilies if they're rented. Super easy, actually. So if it's not rented, then you're going to have to do some other stuff. But maybe if you could get lease commitments and show it to the lender, he'll qualify it. Yo, bro, Nibis is insane, you guys. So 500% on that one. That's nuts. Yeah, CRM. Then Apple is knifing. I don't know if that volume is real. Kind of, but it's still elevated into the low. Yeah, pizza restaurants didn't do as good today. So I'm glad. I'm glad we took the profits on those. Should we just go back in? Let me see. Pizza. Zone on the high. Don't. But yeah, like I was saying though, man, and you are at the low, so get ready. But just don't force any of these properties, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be great when you get a good one. That's how I feel about this one I saw yesterday. But you don't have to rush it. And as long as you protect and value what you have and believe and hunt every day, but are diligent and patient, you're going to be fine. But just be careful of buying the houses that are at the highest price in the last couple of months, right? And then you don't want to buy above list. You don't, even some of these houses at list are too expensive. If you're in an area where there's a buyer's market, Florida, Texas, Atlanta even, these are the places where you negotiate. You ask for less to buy that home. You don't need to be jumpy. Do not be emotional, and you will be good. So, hope that helps. Netflix, man. My goodness. And then Datadog, Airbnb, there's still names. So, we're top of the hour now, 30 minutes in. Let me get you guys this checkup. My goodness. Alrighty, so Dow Jones, 10 names in the green. It's all tech leading it. Amazon, Salesforce, Microsoft. Those are the top 3 on the Dow. And then financials are the laggers on the downside. JP Morgan, Goldman, those are the worst. So 20 red on the Dow, 10 green. NASDAQ 100, 51 green, 50 red. So literally it's 50-50 right now. NASDAQ is split. And then SPY, 144 green, 350 in the red. And literally Airbnb and Booking are leading the SPY, believe it or not. So yeah, travel is leading after they just flamed it the other day. Rubric. I don't own any property outside the U.S. I own paper. So I have like interest, but I technically do not own anything outside. I don't have I'm not experienced with it. And foreign property is just different. Like America and America's real estate market is truly unique. MDB, that's the earnings winner. They're going up, and then Disney started to pop, and then GitLab, and then Take-Two. All right, well, got a couple names that were already up. They're starting to move a little more. You could borrow against the long term for a down payment, but why would you? You know, I think some of you, that is going to be how you will uproot your money tree, right? Remember, our long term, we got all of this without margin. We didn't have to gamble. This is pure cash, bro. This is pure money. This is your money on top of it. So if you want to borrow against it and start to lever it that way, it could derail you, because again, if the equities move, you're going to be forced to put up more money, or that they could sell your house to recoup if you can't deal with the terms of those loans. I really believe in ownership. And even a couple years ago, as I told you, when I was buying bonds, when I was telling you a lot of things, I was like, bro, lower leverage. You don't want to be over levered. Again, rates are high right now. Why would you want to borrow money, pay interest, and use that money as the down payment to pay interest again? It's absolutely batshit. That means you're probably going to be paying 10. You'll probably be paying 17% interest, sadly, because you're going to borrow against the long term. That's going to be 10% interest or more. And then what's going to happen? You take out a 7% loan. There you go. So you can do it. It's in the realm of possibility, but I wouldn't really advise that. I don't think that's a smart move. I think the guy who goes slow and owns it without levering until it's like the best opportunity in the world, he will outpace all these people who lever and then get tripped up in a couple of years, because that's not a sustainable plan. You see what I'm saying? With high interest, high holding costs, that's not sustainable. What we're doing right now with our long-term, little by little, 10%, that's sustainable. You can do it forever. Again, you get a property, it pays for itself. It has equity, has good rent, no leverage at all, just whatever you already paid and it's paid for by the renters. It's going to just grow. That's sustainable. You can hold that the rest of your life while you grow your other elements and sources of income. So, yeah. Would you take a loan? No, man. And can you please, all of you, I strongly encourage, especially if I view you as smarter, and I think you're a smart guy, Michael, so that's a compliment, but stop trying to bend the fucking shit I just said. You get what I'm saying? Like, there is a principle and a concept. Stop trying to find a way around it. You guys are going to get hurt. And that's what happens, right? Is that I'm giving you exactly what not to do. And you are looking for a parachute. You're looking for an escape cord to say, how can I circumvent safety? The reality is just don't do it. That's all. You do it when somebody offers you a multi-million-dollar property for pennies on the dollar. When somebody, richest man in Babylon, they offer you the sheeps outside of the gate, and it's tremendously valuable, then you go and lever and do it all. But other than that, this isn't, stop trying to find a gray area. Don't try to circumvent it, because this is what's got people in trouble. This is why people are missing the easiest, simplest rules, because you're hearing it and you understand it. You're finding a way to not understand it. Baba, JD, no confirmation of call between. This is weird. I don't think that's true, because it came out with Xinhua, but then again, Trump didn't put out a Truth Social. So actually, I don't know. Fascinating. I don't know. They're saying the call didn't happen now. Wow, and then that's, what's it called? This one, Victoria's Secret. Spy's going up off of that. I guess there wasn't a Truth Social post. Maybe. Fascinating. So, because like I said, we didn't get details. I was expecting to hear a little bit more. Yeah, I was expecting details. So let's see.
Appreciate it. We'll be talking very soon, I have no doubt. Eamon Javers in the White House this morning. Meantime, a couple of movers we're watching this morning. Brown-Forman shares are cratering after reporting weakness in their tequila business. They cite a challenging macro environment in Mexico alongside a fall for demand in the Jack Daniels brand. MongoDB shares are gaining, though.
All right, I guess I missed that segment. And then GitLab, that's still going up. Bro, Nibis. We did it perfectly. The swap. But yeah, man, I kind of want to take the profits every time. That's what happens. Because I already made it free, and now they're killing it. And then just like the core weave, we have a lot of time on them now. And the open interest on that contract was 300. Nobody was buying them. Woo! All right, well, we'll see. That's going to be your Germany, Chancellor Scholz. And then the, what's it called? BTU, admin expands coal for fuel jobs. See if it moves. These fade, but I like the coal plays when they run, but they're prone to fading after the first pop. Circle shares indicated at 42 to 44. What is it, CRCL? Yeah, is it them? But here's the, like I'm telling you guys, Core Weave, any of the crazy IPOs, they happen later. It's not like on the first day. So I'm not saying it won't move. It might go crazy. But if it's not our criteria, then unfortunately, for safety, it's just not going to, I wouldn't force it. So if it has too much premium, like that's the thing. When they say it prices at 31 and it's going to open at 42, that is a bad thing, you guys. Do you understand? You don't want that. That's a scam. I think we all as a society and as a trading community, you guys need to realize that's not in your favor. Do you understand? That means the company is agreeing to sell it at $31 and these fucking bankers are not going to sell it to you for a minimum of $42 because they're watching all of your orders right now. And I want that. Give me a IPO, car wave, give me. You get what I'm saying? That's not a good thing. That's why one of our criteria is lack of premium. So if the IPO comes out and they're jacking up the price 50%, even if there's a lot of demand, that premium leaves you room to get fucked. So you got to watch out for that. So watch out for that, the share amount, and then it has to trade in the first 10 minutes. But yeah, it's no. Let's see, how many shares? $32 million shares. So yeah, you'll need what? 16 million in 10 minutes. I look for half of the volume in the first 10 minutes. That's usually a great supply-demand indicator. But if it's not there, that's what I'm saying. If the demand's not there, the price is high, it's not going to really be what you want. And then you wait till the float turns. And then you look for how long it takes to complete the full offering. But like I'm saying, if it's not there, it's just not there. And you can force it, and it might move. It doesn't mean it won't move, but you do have to, it just usually, when those criterias aren't met, it's usually a dud. And then, doesn't mean it won't happen later, but then usually the breakout a couple months later, that's what we did with Core Weave. Dollar General going up. Again, they had earnings, SPY near the low, bond stopped going up. Supreme Court rules in favor. China held phone call at Trump's request. Chinese embassy in the U.S. Yeah, bro, no, it's legit. Look at the embassy just came out and confirmed it because I think they heard. So yeah, they did talk. Pre-order, if you could get it at the offering price, that's great. But do you see what I'm saying? If you're not getting in on the offering and you're paying more than the offering, you are willingly choosing to pay more for something that they just sold for way less. It's actually insane. Yeah, but Oscar keeps going. That was another one on the list. And then silver, bro. Silver dropped, but the premiums are holding amazingly. This thing was up like 5 in the morning. And then NVO going up. NIB is chilled out a little bit, but all the premiums still holding. IGV, GH, IoT, Bros. Yeah, Guardian Healthcare. A lot of health, actually, surprisingly. I just saw UNH going up. I think the big ones are holding back, and then the small healthcare companies are going up. And then MDT, even from yesterday. And then EE. Where's that one? EHang or EH? Yeah, remember all those yesterday? All the China ones. You, baby. Welcome. He gave me his first one yesterday. Keep throwing them. Woo! Good morning. All right, we're still at the low, man. We spent all week just randomly melting up, and then we get the fucking 50-point sell-off right at the morning. Good morning. Yeah, bro. It's different. It's a different dynamic than the other day. Again, NASDAQ's still like 50-50. SPY has way more names down, and then the Dow is being led by tech, dragged by financials. Surprisingly. Tesla bounce. That'll be big if it does. Lemonade on the high. Again, Tesla, very, very fascinating, Habibi. Yeah, long-term barely moving. We haven't heard about Meta today. And then Amazon had the humanoid robot shit. Yeah, Tesla's there at the bottom. Again, bonds still holding, though. That's the weird part. Just like yesterday in the data, though, the bonds are doing this thing where they're like catching a bid, both when we go down and not. Japan, Akazawa, no change in stance, want full U.S. tariff reprieve. So, kind of sounds like a negative from Japan. Nike still up. Where I find it, it's all my software stuff, man. I'm sorry. Most of the stuff that I share with you is just not accessible. So you guys stop asking, because like I can't share it. I've created a lot, and then I'm not willing to share it because last time I did, everybody just monetizes it. So unfortunately, I could provide you information, but and that's the value, is that a lot of this stuff is not easily accessible. So I wish I could help more, but best I could offer is just the data. Yeah, we haven't even heard. We don't know what Putin's going to do yet. That's still the other element. And then Philip Morris now. Again, you had Dollar General running too. Why do people... I mean, listen, man, it's a genuine question. I get it. For real. That's why. I used to always I would show you everything. You know what I'm saying? And I understand. It's just like, the sad reality is that one person may genuinely want to know to use it for themselves, but the other 9 people who take it and hear it, they're going to monetize it and abuse it. And yeah, it usually leads to us losing out rather than being able to help everybody. So, yeah. Well, there's other places around that has it, but like mine, I have a lot of crazy stuff that does it. CVS. So again, like I was telling you, medical and some of these pharma stocks been going up. Yeah, that's starting to pop there. SPY hasn't gone down for like 10 minutes. The Chosen, the last super, is it the Jesus movie? I haven't. I've seen a couple episodes, but no. iRobot 2. Oh, I remember those. Yeah. Where's this one at? The Boeings are just slowly losing. I can't believe SLV's holding up. You ended up not good. I didn't like that one. Like I said, that one, the area was interesting, but I didn't, unless you really had a reason for that one, and I wasn't feeling it. Microsoft starting to come down. Watch out. Philip Morris, AT&T, bro. They literally just bounced from the damn thing yesterday. Again, the hack, and people found out it was earlier. And TLT ripping now. Watch out. Because again, last couple of days, TLT ripping. Market hasn't taken that well. No, we did not have a watch list last night. SoFi moving. Oh, Kep. Roblo. And then Guild Lira, that was from yesterday. Yeah, Guild. Again, there's good medical players or biotechs today. I'm surprised, but the ETF is still red. Very interesting. Yeah, bonds up 0.5, NASDAQ down a quarter, SPY down a quarter, Dow down 0.3, and Russell down a quarter. Everything is matched up. Robinhood execs say event contracts are going to be very big. It says election event contracts had 800,000 accounts and 500 million contracts in 1 week. I love it. I realized, so I saw their tweet. Robinhood tweeted, and they were like, the old playbook is dead. We're the new playbook. So I'm very excited because remember when I told you guys that the whole long-term thing is going to be the last of a dying breed? Yeah, Robinhood's going to do the work for us. They're going to make sure that it gets eliminated. So 800,000 people will be gambling events. Another couple million will be told never to hold for 10 years. And there you go, baby. Get ready. You have lots of opportunity to become the owner. Do it. Twilio. I think the Friday inclusion news is the rumor, but apparently they have a conference right now. He said Bovada. That's funny. No, man, but I'm excited for it. It sucks. It's sad. And I wish everybody would get a long term, but at the same time, this is going to be I'm telling you, man, all of you guys with the long term and making sure you walk away owning. You have to walk away from this game an owner and holding it, bro. And the easy stuff we know of what the past has taught us and holding long term, bro. It's going to be amazing, but I think there will be a lot of strategic opportunities that will set us apart because a lot of people will not value it. So that makes your value that much more valuable. Yeah, DeVita, you guys asked me about that one yesterday. Amgen, that's another farm. Toast on the high. Again, financials, money stocks, they're not really doing good today. But Toast is up. Zena above. Yeah, that one, dude, it doubled. The VWAP is still really low. And then Net's been going straight up all morning. Where's Nibis? And then iRobot. And then Chipotle. Okay, I haven't seen a restaurant go yet. We saw Bros. That was the only one. Car on the high. Car kind of ripping. 60 cents. Avis. Then Pega. High ticker is starting to go. And then Net and a couple of others. Just trying to wake up. SoFi. Yeah, that is actually weird too, because like I'm saying, XLF, KRE, they're not doing too hot. But yeah, that is literally 3.8 into the high. Yeah, Navient's barely up. All right, you got your first green shoe in a 30 minutes at least. Oscar been killing it, man. IoT, we saw that one earlier. Like I'm saying, there's a weird mix of what's up and not. It's 7:30 now, or 7:21. We're just shy of the first hour. Volume kind of low, 13 mil. TGL, MP on the high. They sold off a little bit pre-market. Whirlpool, I don't think they had earnings now. Just in general, they had earnings a couple weeks ago. And then there was some other update because they were doing good and then it got washed. I'm checking now. FA, Upstart, Affirm on the high, Oracle again, short-term one like 30-second velocity is ramping. And then Macy's again. Lowe's and Home Depot. I think Whirlpool moved a little bit on that. But yeah, I don't see any like breaking news on your boy. Macy's, ESTC, Affirm again. There's Nibis. Now RCO. You're like right back to the VWAP. Bonds came down, but yeah, let's see if we get out of it. Oil's still up. Again, Bitcoin's into the low right now. I haven't really looked at currencies. Yeah, everything's 0.25%, bro. We're waiting on something. You guys don't feel it? Everything is like matched up almost perfectly today. Like give or take, everything from currencies to cross asset is like all the same percentage movement right now. So again, there is the China call, and then we're going to hear from Germany, but we haven't heard yet. Senate Majority Leader Thune, Banking Committee, and Commerce Committee will release their reconciliation text soon. Semaphore. Toast on the high. Now Shake Shack, another restaurant, and Bros. The restaurants can wake up. That's all we need. Like low key, bro. Well, we're waiting on the details. The call did happen and they confirmed it. Honestly, it might be happening right now, bro. So yeah, we don't have the details yet, but that's kind of the issue. Bros again, Macy's. All right, Spy, you just wiped the last, like, what, 35 minutes there in those 3 candles? Oh, those are too expensive. But yeah, watch any China plays for the announcement, though, because you already got one part of it, but you're going to get details later. And then again, Germany. A lot of people don't know. Again, MERS in Germany, that could be very big. And that is also going on here. Iran and Saudi, MBS spoke on the phone. WST. Bro, is Airbnb? I think Airbnb's still climbing too. Yeah, it's still up there. Gill on the high. Peter Schiff talked about silver. Wow. Is he allowed to? Does he like silver, or is he? I don't know. I don't know if there's like loyalty to gold. Net. And then AMD too, they're down 1. Where is Nivda? Oscar Health keeps going, bro. That one has been literally from minute 1 has been just going straight up. That's how Nibis was, but then Nibis chilled. Then Guild, another medical, and then Spy here to the first level. All right, still going. Just wait. The next catalyst is going to be Germany or China. Do you understand? That's it. You might get like a bullshit tax bill headline here and there, but once we find out details, it's going to pop on China or fall on China details, and then that's it. And then we wait till what they say with Germany. Damn, I just typed out that whole stream alert. And it went away. Vive rumored for the S&P 500. We got rumors. Viva. UNH climbing. The end of the day for nuclear, I don't know. I could put in an ETF, but I'd have to look it up individually. All right, man. 5 minutes, you just wiped out 50 minutes. But still, I mean, you're still down here. Actually, SPY's just going green. So is the Nazi. Remember, everything was about 0.25%. Equal weight might go green too, damn it. So, hey, not too bad. There's Dollar Tree again. They got worked yesterday. I don't think there's news on Oscar. I brought it up on the watch list, 2 days ago? We noticed how it was kind of outperforming, and then it just keeps running. But, yeah, so I don't even know if there's news today. Robinhood execs say tokenization will be big in 5 years. You want to bet on it? But, thank you. I'll be here all night. Get a long-term and save 10%. Thank you. New egg popping. New egg. Oh, whoa. Why is New egg up 7? Oh? Huh? Oh, they're non-standard options. How does that work? Hold on. I don't know how this one would work. EU plans to remove UAE from money laundering blacklist. Yeah, well, Newegg popped 8%. Just literally no trades. It's non-standard option, so they're weird. NTAP on the high. Oust, that's the little Tesla one. Nibis about to break out. The contracts are still holding. You have 400% on the bid. Literally 50 to 200. Yeah, I think the contracts, I was looking at them, they're non-standard. It's 5 shares, 100 arrested. I have no idea how these work. I don't like to trade them. Usually it just means you lost all your money. That's how I've summed it up. Cigna, Nike, Cas Spa. All right, man. Again, a lot of small caps. You got a few in there too, though, that are related to trade. All right, and then you're working your way up out of nowhere. Just, again, we had this little 80 or 50 point drop off the morning. No real headlines. We kind of talked a little bit about back and forth with China, and then boom, now we're moving. It's not even euro close. It's literally just been 1 hour exactly since the market has opened. BlackRock's Fink says tariff-induced inflation likely to impact U.S. economy over the next 5 months. He's an idiot. It's the spending bill inflation. That's it. Nobody wants to admit it, but that's it. I agree with that. If they hammer home a crazy spending bill, you're going to get government inflation. Anything else, I don't believe in inflation anymore. That's it. They're all liars. But that's it. If they spend how they are with these bills, we're fucked. Yo, Rocket and Redfin. What's going on here? Architect. Bro, I saw a Redfin commercial yesterday. You know that? I blew my mind. But yeah, check Rocket and Redfin. They're both moving up into... It's the same exact company. But yeah, they're kind of moving up. EIA says natural gas stockpiles rose 122. Citron pumping them. Yeah, he pumped them the other time. Redfin. Yeah, I saw that commercial. I was like, dude, I haven't seen a Redfin commercial in so long. Yeah, Citron on Archite. STX, Cigna. Open. Yeah, and then Zillow yesterday. What's KLC? Kinder Learning? Down 3%. 4 now almost. Yo, KLC, that could be a short report. 4% one candle. It's kind of a liquid, but that's still a pretty big stick. Check volume on Nibis versus Core Weave. Let's see, actually. So, Core Weave is actually going to have the same volume as the last 3 days. So, Core Weave is already trading above average. So, to put it into perspective for you, what time is it right now? 10:30. So, we'll go by 11 a.m. So, right now, Core Weave by 11 a.m., it's saying 19 million. Yesterday by 11 a.m., though, it had 25 million. And then the day before, it had 21 million by 11 a.m. And then the day before that, it was 15 million, and then 10, and then 17, then 12, then 18, then 17. So today's lower, but higher like the last couple of days. So that's still elevated, and it is going to be above average. And then Nibis. Oh, dude, Nibis has already traded double its average volume right now. So by 10 a.m., 11, Nibis has already traded double what it usually does, and it's predicting 59 million. So yeah, to put it into context for Nibis, by 11 a.m., Nibis right now has 21 million traded. All right. And then yesterday, by this time, by 11, it had 4 million. And then the day before that, 4 million. 3 days before that was 9. So in the last, since May 21st, this is the biggest volume on Nibis by 11 a.m. So yeah, usually it's 4 p.m. for you to get close to this volume. So Nibis has already traded a whole day by this morning. Yeah, everything just dumped after you had that real quick. Hold on. Look at the bonds, though. So I'm not buying it as much. Because, again, every time we were dropping, the bonds were catching a bid. This is different. You see what I'm saying? So don't get too ahead of yourself yet. You see, but do you guys see what I'm saying? Look, whole day today, you were melting bonds up as we went down. Now your bonds are selling, but then you're going down too. It's kind of in the middle. So, see, NVO breaking out. Palantir CEO on CNBC. Who's that? Murder. We helped everybody kill people. What? What's wrong with... It's so effective. Oh, what the... AI? Who gonna pay me the most? What the fuck, dude?
You know, doing our thing, and we get... You know, we get great partners and we build them. But basically, we're in the business of taking Ontology Foundry and transforming businesses so that they have economics that look much more like ours. And what we're really doing is saying to the world, look, all the value in Silicon Valley used to be in venture. It's now all in growth. Look at this partnership. Look at the quality of the partner and see how we roll.
Well, so Chris, you are the latest partner. Tell us a little bit. So your healthcare operations for hospitals and systems, what exactly do you do, and how do you work with a company like Palantir to accelerate that kind of growth?
Sure. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for having us. We're announcing the partnership today, and just as background, Teletracking was founded in 1991. We're a 30-plus year company that's focused on healthcare operations. And we work with over 150 health systems across the world, 8 out of the 10 largest in the United States. But I think the
Dollar Tree, yo, pizza.
Similar to air traffic
yo, pizza, bro.
That is helping manage flights coming in and out.
Yo, pizza just popped. Check if there's any rumors. That's way too big.
For patients, staff, and
pizza just moved 2% on a ticker.
And so with that 35 years of deep domain
what is this? Announces Caroline Miller as Chief Admin Officer. That's old.
Leveraging Foundry and AIP, we believe that we can put that into motion even quicker.
I mean, healthcare systems.
Oh, come on, give me a rumor.
Better unit economics.
You know how long I've been waiting for that rumor?
You know,
it's not there. There's no rumor, though. Honestly,
it's just not working for most people, but the people for whom it is working are transforming their business.
And then Dollar General, Dollar Tree, SPY flushing.
And in my view, on the battlefield,
all right, look, now bonds straight up.
Battlefield of commercial enterprise, way to do this is to platform on top of Ontology, platform on top of Foundry, bring your domain expertise to the market,
He
change
said
your unit
US should
economics,
remove
and
negative
reap the
measures
benefits
on
for your
China.
investors. And this is, by the
Okay,
way,
you're getting
is a very
Chinese
different
comments
space.
right
You
now.
used to get these kind of unit economics by
That's why.
randomly picking a smart person
Again,
from Stanford,
some
probably
names
a
are
person
still
at Stanford that
holding,
was
but I
at
think
Palantir.
they're kind of
Now you
rotating
do
a little
it by
bit.
investing in
Like
scale.
Nibis,
We are
BMY,
essentially using
some
our
staples.
platform to invest in scale and invest with
Nibis
the
is
best
not a
people.
staple, by the
And
way.
that's where the real returns are. That's where all the capital's going to
staples
go.
are still
You're going
down.
to see PE firms shifting. You're going to see investors shifting. You're going to see the smartest of the smart money has already shifted, even though when they're trying
The
to raise
average
money for the
volume on
startups,
pizza?
they don't
Let's
exactly
check.
tell you that. But that's what's actually going on. And we're at the center of that universe, which is why we're constantly under attack, mostly by player
Yeah,
haters.
it's projecting
who are
the big. This
technically
could be
illiterate,
wrong, but it's projecting
also
a
by
fuck ton
people
of
who don't
volume
want
on
the West
pizza.
to win.
Yeah,
and
this
we're
is
just
above
here
average.
trying to find the best
This is
partners in
actually
America
abnormal.
and just crush it. And that's
Well,
what
okay,
we're
a lot
doing.
of questions. Why do you say that AI is not working for most? What do you mean?
But that's just
Because
a prediction. If it
the-
fades, U.S. should
basically, I mean, in the
consider-
enterprise context, to make
Excuse me.
enterprise work, you need
Reduce
something
misunderstanding,
like an ontology. You need
CCTV.
an ontology to manage the LLMs.
Again, they're
And
coming
if you
out now.
aren't doing that, you're getting some kind of like chatbot experience.
Yeah, so they have
which is
190,000
certainly
in volume.
Is an
Explain
addendum to
what
high
that
score
means.
college.
Explain
it's,
what
it's
ontology
done this
is
though. If
for
it
viewers.
slows down, it's there.
So
it's
take
double the
deep
move right
domain
now, but
knowledge
it
and
has
then
to follow
scale it
through. If
inside
it
your
doesn't
enterprise,
follow
you're
through,
going to have to use.
it
First
may
of all,
not
you're going
be
to have to
there.
have the
That's just
enterprise
odd. Again, that's
completely
like
structured in a
2%.
way that actually works. So you're going to have to replace the seams that are in your enterprise. That's exactly where the AI fails. Then you're
Hey,
going to
again,
need a
you're
way
getting
of
these details on
orchestrating
China
the
right
large
now.
language models. And by the way, orchestrating it so that each tidbit of the large language model is in the right place at the right time, and it's doing it in a way that's secure.
All right, now you're
So
working your way
internal,
up.
Not external tooling.
Get ready for the good
You need a way
headline. There
that
you got
keep
Dollar
your domain
General still
knowledge.
too.
You know, the Palantir
These values are
platform,
going nuts.
despite what you might read at the New York Times,
Yes,
is
let's get into
actually
that.
the most secure, the hardest platform in the world
Fly
to
W,
manipulate
Netflix,
and change.
again, any of the
course,
leaders, look at the
any
30-second
technology
Ken
can be
view now.
abused. But if you
Sure, you're gonna
wanted
see
to
options
abuse the
on that.
technology,
And then
if you
Spy,
wanted
again,
to use
we just
the
heard
deep
2
state
comments
to
from Xi
unlawfully
Jinping. You got to
surveil
drop
people,
and pop
the
off of it.
last
I haven't heard the good
platform in
headline yet.
world you would pick is Palantir because of the granular way we segment and put together and the security models and the access control models that are in Foundry natively, not
Yeah, Redfin's
built
still
on
going
an
up.
addendum. And by the way,
Yeah, watch any of the
that focus
currencies,
on
low-key.
civil liberties is
That might be
making
that.
us
Look at the euro.
really rich.
That might be
which
the signal.
drives the woke, pagan, religious practicing, Neanderthal thinking people who ignore technology absolutely nuts on the right and the left while we're building value. By the way, I asked for permission before I went
You're
nuts.
a murderer,
from our wonderful,
Alex. Shut up.
slightly conservative, and highly substantive partner, and he gave me permission
Blood is
to
on your
embarrass him.
hands,
He didn't realize
literally.
it'd be this embarrassing.
I think it
But-
comes
But I
with
do
the
kind of
territory.
agree with
views,
him to
not
a
his.
certain degree.
Okay, so
Okay,
Alex, let's get
Baba
into that.
tells Trump
New York
implemented
Times has an
Geneva
article. Here's the
Agreement. That's
headline.
good.
Trump taps Palantir to
Because
compile
again, they were
data on
all
Americans.
debating
Paint a
that.
pretty
They're like, no, you
Orwellian
didn't follow
picture
the agreement.
Of what you
And they're
and
like,
the
no,
Trump
we didn't.
administration
I was
are
walking
doing.
over here. I picked a random engineer, and I said, by the way, we have a contest. Find all the technically absolutely
Xi tells
erroneous
Trump,
things in this
okay,
article
that's
in 90
reiterating
seconds.
again, but
and
yeah.
I picked a random engineer. He's
Sticking
like,
to the
he's like, well, how
agreement's
many do you
good,
think you could
but
do in
I don't
90
think that
seconds? He's
changes
like,
the
well,
narrative.
15, 20. But leaving aside the technical, look, it's
So it's
probably
wrong.
hard
Is that
for
what you're
them, I'm
saying?
sure. Well, it's not. Well, first of all, on the tech side, it is so ridiculous. I read the New York Times. It's literally like I'm a dyslexic.
bonds
They might as
going
well be
down,
hiring
though.
me to do a spelling
Again, I
bee.
think the bonds down is bullish.
Maybe they just have friends who are tech bros, but they can't hire.
Trump
on a
is
meritocratic
welcome to
basis. I don't
visit
know.
China
so that's
again.
up to them. We have a
Xinhua.
contest. Find all the
That
errors in
sounds
90
good.
seconds.
And then
I
if
think
Trump
somebody
says,
will
maybe
find
I'll do
50
it,
or 60.
I
But
think
the
I'll
more
be
important
going.
thing is
We'll see.
we are
We'll
not
see. He's a
surveilling
tough
Americans. We are not
Tough
building
guy.
a
It's a
database
beautiful
to surveil it.
place.
And
We'll see if
you
it-
wanted
if
to
it
do
allows.
that, the last platform
gotta make-
in
we
the
gotta
world
pass the
you
bill,
would
though.
buy is Palantir. And don't believe me, go look, spend 10 minutes and look at the architecture of our product. 10 minutes. And then see how ridiculous that is. By the way,
$1
writing
million.
ridiculous shit in a highly charged environment is dangerous. And the New York Times should take responsibility for the danger they're putting out in the world. There really are people who believe that crap.
Well,
They
one thing
believe that.
Yeah,
One thing that's true,
RT
though,
I mean,
is
we
that
own
you
it.
have
You know that,
increased your
right?
contracts with
All
the
of our
government,
Redfin. Our
and that
Redfin
has
shares are going to
accelerated
turn
under
into
the Trump
RTK.
administration.
So you're technically in it.
But by the way,
Well,
even
yeah, I
there,
was looking at some of the
a
options. I would get
mathematically
Elite if
somewhat
you really
moderately
want to
literate
play it.
person would say, okay,
With
well, they're
options,
increasing the government by
RTK leaps.
45%.
I'm not doing
That's
it,
pretty
but
baller.
I've
How are
looked.
they
They're-
increasing
the
in the
spread's
U.S.
too Nationwide.
Commercial, 71%.
Wait till they come down.
Wait
Wait till
to
fucking
conspire against
Citron
our own people in the
needs
U.S.
to pump
commercial
it again,
context
and
with
then
no
you buy
Salesforce.
it.
So I mean, yeah, we're winning.
Yeah, that ran since
great.
that headline.
You know what? Tell everybody we're winning. We are winning. And by the way, we have a rule of 83 while we do it. Basically means we don't have or have basically inept sales force, and we're winning. And we know why we're winning? Because the product is the best in the world. And you know what the Trump administration is actually doing? Every other government in the world is doing, because everyone wants to beat China, who's not China, is buy the best product. What is the best product? They're not buying our product because they like me or they like my speeches. Honestly, he's wondering why he has to buy the product from me too.
I move my hands when I do the Trump, yes.
They buy it because
1000%.
I'm going to make
you can't
your company
channel it without it.
really,
all right,
really
that's
financially
gonna be the good
strong,
headline now. There
more
it is,
secure,
boys.
more efficient, increase the revenues. Why does the U.S. government buy the product? First of all, it's a product. It's not a waste of time.
Trump
service
agreed to
BS
start
thing
new
that
round
can
of
be abused. By the way,
talk.
we lost so much revenue in the last 20 years because people wanted to buy things that could be abused. It's really hard to abuse Palantir. You could do services. Who knows what a services company is doing with your data? Or you could do what the New York Times does or Consumer Internet does. You could resell the data and productize your users. By the way, there's a high correlation between productizing your users and
dude, I thought I was
selling
grabbing
them
a daily.
pagan BS.
Oh,
That's
shit.
a good point. What are you doing at the
can't
IRS?
get that with Palantir.
All right, well, I did not grab
can't.
a date. Oh, I could have made
The
it.
IRS was one example.
Yeah, you know, we have so many contracts in the U.S. government. I mean, I'll tell you, without the specifics, I can tell you exactly what we're doing in the IRS. We're going to use the most secure platform in the world to replace inept software with cheaper, better software that is more efficient. That's what we're doing. I assume at the IRS we have
bullish,
so many
bro.
contracts.
That's it. New round of talks. Let's see. I prefer individuals. I did go with the SPY.
We're scaring
I think they're
the
going to scam it
bejeebers. I'm trying not
eventually. Yeah,
to
they
use
already
the F
came
word
down.
out of our
But that's
adversaries.
good news
by
broadly.
making
Keep
them
it
scared
small
at
on the
night.
SPY.
And you know how we're doing
Go
it?
bigger
By
on
installing
individuals with
productized
time.
software that
Again,
runs
like go,
algorithms
Baba. That's why I
against
sent out a
data
stream alert
that's been
10 minutes
lawfully
ahead of that.
collected. And you
So
can't
watch all of those.
unlawfully use it in our platform, which is one of the
Yeah,
main reasons
so if
people
you're going
buy
to do
it
SPY,
and
keep it small. SPY shouldn't have too much
Chris, we
follow
know you
through. I'm
haven't been
scared of
rendered
it.
mute,
But
so I'm
then
gonna come to
individual
you and
names
ask
with
you.
like time, I think you'll be fine.
You know, healthcare.
apologize.
Listen, we're having a huge debate right now in this country, obviously, about spending and about deficits that are unsustainable. Healthcare seems to be at the center of so much of our spending. We spend more than any country, yet we don't get outcomes that seem anywhere near what we should. How do you see that being transformed, and can it be, given some of the larger efforts you're making here in terms of when you talk about the AI revolution in healthcare?
Yeah, absolutely, and this is the reason that we're partnering with Palantir. You know, Teletrack has been in this for 3 decades, focused on the operations. When you talk about the macroeconomic issues, we're at 20% and growing in GDP spend as part of healthcare. We're ranked 48th or 49th, depending on the study you look at, in efficiency in that healthcare.
Oh, we'll see. Like I said, I think individual names, two sides should strive for win-win outcomes.
To bend the cost curve of healthcare down while improving access and quality of care. And we're doing that through improving the operations, small transactions, small things. Everyone's experienced the wait times in healthcare. Everyone's experienced the unknowns in healthcare. And so we have more capability that we have built over the years that it's now going to be augmented with our partnership using Foundry and AIP and the expertise that Palantir brings, coupled with our deep domain knowledge. We can drive the cost of healthcare down.
Wow. Medicaid, Medicare spending, obviously a key portion of our spending overall. I mean, is it your overall belief that over time,
what's the other one? VIV.
Given AI and what it can accomplish, that we can meaningfully reduce spending while actually improving outcomes?
Absolutely,
THC
100%.
as well.
And I think we've
wait till
seen
you get the Trump
microeconomic
one, but
versions
I'd
of
like
this
new
across
rounds of talk.
hospitals.
This reminds me of
Roughly
2018.
45%
It reminds me of round 2. Phase
cannot
2.
make money
Remember
inside
phase
the
1,
Medicare
phase
and
2, all of
Medicaid
that.
margins, but some do.
And then again,
the ones
it's right
that
at
do
the
have
level,
focused
but
on the
I think
operation
individual
side of
names
their
with time.
business,
That's
just
it.
like
These
in
spy
every
ones,
other
I'm about to
industry.
get out of them.
Efficiency and productivity improves outcomes.
The ones with time are great, though, even on
Alex,
the spy. The
while
dailies
we're
are
on
the
sort of
scam.
bigger
Hallelujah.
picture
Yeah. All right.
issues, the big beautiful bill, I wanted to ask you about this. Has a
30%
provision that
loss
bans
on the
states and
daily,
localities from
but
regulating
the one with time
AI
is
for
literally
a decade.
break even.
Is that a good idea?
That's crazy. So yeah, the dailies, that's how they're going to scam you. I accidentally got one with time for like 2-3 weeks. That place fucking holding.
Building what I believe will
10
be
cents or
the
something.
largest and is, I think, already maybe the most important software business in the world. And so I'm not really reading bills.
Yeah, so no daily. I'm out of the daily. I took a loss on that. I don't like it.
It is dangerous.
I have
there
one
are
with, I
positive and
technically have a
negative
2-week play now.
consequences, and either we win or China will win. So a lot of stuff that would be really important to look at. We're in an arms race. And by the way, I don't even mean an arms race,
for me.
just the obvious,
Yeah,
like
I'm fine
our
with
AI
that,
on the
though.
battlefield
My
is
other
better
player's
than
back
theirs,
green now.
or the world order will change,
motherfuckers.
which I think almost everyone intuitively
China
understands.
Xi should
It's
avoid a
also,
very small number of Taiwan separatists.
do we have
dialogue,
the strongest
only
economy
right
in the world?
choice
And again,
for China.
we have
Cooperation.
When you're building a business, you really have to build where you're strong. So like we focus on software, we focus on technology. As alluding to the early part of the conversation, when you veer from that, you end up with weird, non-performant products like the New York Times article. But if you stick to where we have strength, which is essentially business acumen,
again, individual
business knowledge,
the best bet.
domain-specific ways of doing things,
Trump says he
and then
spoke
using
with China
software
on Truth
to
Social now.
hypercharge the
All right,
efficiencies.
Trump is talking
Now,
about it.
Why would we do that? Well, as a matter of theory, you would think, well, we'll do it just because we can, but we also do it because we're the best in the world at it. There is no economy in the world with this kind of corporate leadership, which is willing to pivot, which understands technologies, which is willing to look at new things, but also has deep domain expertise. Our allies in the West, in Europe, are going to have to learn from us. Our allies in the Middle East are learning quicker from us. Our adversaries are trying to learn from us, and we're not. You can't look at this as in a vacuum. One of the biggest mistakes that people are making
Trump call lasted 1.5 hours, resulted in both
economically
positive
literate.
conclusions.
So you wouldn't
for
write
both
an article
countries,
saying
he
you can just
says.
borrow money endlessly, but you could write an article that's just as stupid on technology. And tech gets a say here. And America
Our respective
has
teams
every
will be meeting
advantage
shortly.
in this field. Like every advantage.
So there you go. Now
every
that's your
company
carrot.
you want to buy from, not just us,
So now
others, great
you're gonna be
companies.
looking
Every
for
company
ahead
you'd
for
want to sell
another
to,
China,
every company
US
that's selling
meeting.
to customers, that's flexible and adopt. We get the best people. You have to focus on that, and anything slowing us down is just essentially a transfer of IP to our
But you just called it
adversaries,
dangerous.
and we will pay a huge price for that. Huh?
So how do we mitigate? You just called it dangerous. So how do we mitigate the risk, catastrophic risk, while also beating China?
No, sorry.
Sorry, you're
Anything
stupid. You don't get
powerful
it.
is dangerous, right? So it's like you can't say AI is just going to be unmitigated good or bad. Well, I'll tell you what. We have honest discussions about tracking where it's going, how close are we to AGI, what is working, who are the people doing it. You know, I welcome a discussion about who is in charge of these
APLD.
technologies. Great. You know, you have people on the left and increasingly on the right who just think I'm a shaman person gathering money and data. Magically, I just show up. It just happens. It just happens. Yeah, it just happens. Yeah, just magically.
Very stark
you know,
difference.
we've got to fight against that. We've got to educate our populace. We've got to focus on meritocracy. We've got to allow a culture where the best products can win and they stay profitable. And we have to fight for that. And by the way, everyone who's on the sidelines and thinks you can get away with not fighting for these things, with honest discussions, is going to find out the other side, which is Luddite, regressive, pagan. They will win, and that's what we have to do. And then quantify the results.
Yeah, it's David. You know, it's funny when I hear you talk about hypercharged efficiency. I do wonder, and I'm not sure I know your full view on. We've just starting to grapple with the societal implications of what that means for employment. I don't know where you come down on this, but you know, it's something that I think we all are just trying to start to think about.
Those of us in tech cannot have a tin ear to what is this going to mean for the average person. And the kind of AI we're doing, which is in enterprises, can, if we work very, very hard at it, be net accretive to the workforce in America. And by the way, one of the most important things we can help do is aptitude testing.
But why do you believe that's the case, Alex? Why do you believe it's going to be additive to the workforce? I just want to understand the underlying.
No, I didn't say it will be. No, sorry.
Okay.
You have to be careful about this. You can't say it will be. It can be. We have to will it to be.
How?
And we have to will
Trump
it to
says
be.
no more
because otherwise
questions
we're gonna
on
have
rare earth
deep
products with
societal
China.
upheavals that I think many in our elite are just really ignoring.
Yeah, they are. That's why I'm mentioning it. But what does that look like? Will it to be? What do you,
Oscars at
I need to
16?
understand what that means.
Well, I don't want to take up all the time. I'm happy to talk about this all day. We have one of the top corporate leaders.
Can I just add something? Add something that Alex on the workforce. If you look at the workforce in healthcare, the downward pressure on staffing,
Newegg is
nurses
popping
and
again.
people in the
Again, Baba
in the
held
healthcare
up very
industry,
well. The
we're
spy's not
underserved.
giving the follow
We do not
through
have
there.
enough
But a lot of
workers
stuff that
in
was
this
already
case. When we
holding
talk about
materials
efficiency,
reacted,
productivity,
but
leveraging
that's going to
this
be the new
partnership
stick.
to improve
That's
that.
it.
We're
So whatever
enabling
bad part of
that
China,
workforce
we're
that
moving
is
past that. And
significantly
then
under
I don't know if
pressure
you guys
today. So
remember,
I would put
like
that in
phase
different
2.
context in healthcare.
That's what it's different than phase 2,
Finally,
but
you know,
it
Alex, the
sounds
stock,
like
I mean, I mentioned
this is
it at
going
the
to
top,
be the little carrot
76%
we
this
follow
year, on top
along
of
now.
last year's 340% gain.
So-and-so goes
you
to
have
China.
a lot of believers.
So-and-so comes to
but
America.
it's now
Those
valued
are
at
going to be the
205
headlines in the next
times
couple of weeks.
next year, 12 months
But then we still got to hear from Germany.
Times. You
So
feel
watch out for that. But like I'm telling you, individual names,
on those high
fuck the SPY, bro. Like low key, the individuals with time,
I feel the pressure every day to deliver
those
on
are
high
following through.
expectations.
Everything else
Right here.
is way scammy.
That's the high expectation. I feel
'Cause
the
I didn't like
pressure to
those, but
deliver
yeah, the
on.
K-Web,
I feel
Baba,
the high
those are fucking
expectation to
idiots.
deliver for our retail
Yeah,
investors, especially that defended us against the so-called experts that are defending us now against the so-called non-expert who pretending to be experts. I feel the high expectations of the 4,000 Palantirians who are among, if not the most talented people in the world, the ex-Palantirians who are building some of the most interesting companies in the world, the high expectations of getting our government to actually be the most efficient, ethical, non-transactional, non-surveillance, but still able to do its core function governments. I feel the expectation of scaring the F out of our enemies, and I feel the expectation of doing my thing.
SPY coming down.
And that's what we're
towards
focused on.
VWAP. Again, the China
And
plays
you
and
know
tech
what?
are holding up.
Don't like the price.
Ironically enough. Remember, that happened yesterday.
One of the beautiful things about being in the public
I
markets.
did. Toast was on fire, bro.
A company for all
all day today. Then
vast majority of
bros.
our history. You don't like the price? Exit. You do like the price? Buy. I'm focused on the high expectations of a very, very high competence-driven person like the person next to me and many others, and especially, quite frankly, of the war fighter who's out there protecting us. You know, when they go out and they risk their lives, in many cases, not all, but almost all, they're risking their life with Palantir at their back and in front of them. That's a really high expectation, and that's what I'm focused on.
China
and that's
again.
why I defend Palantir
There you go, baby.
largely player-hating,
I love it.
Technically ignorant
Player-hating?
People who wish they could get out of the vacuum of their pagan religion and understand how companies are built.
Why you keep saying pagan and player hate? You just said you were player hater.
Disseminated in 90 seconds.
What?
So many pagans. Alex
So many
Karp, thank you
pagans,
so
so many
much for
player
the
haters.
time.
Alex Karp.
Always colorful.
Thank you.
Alex Karp,
Right.
Palantir CEO, with Chris Johnson,
Bach.
Teletracking co-CEO, who just announced a big deal today with Palantir. I think dispelling some of the concerns out there around the data collection. Certainly had a lot to say about the New York Times, but also about the growth in the commercial business, what they're doing for their customers and for the U.S. government.
That's the thing.
as well.
I want to say
While you've
something,
been
but it's a
talking,
really hot
headlines
take.
from both Chinese
But
media
then, like,
and the president about that phone call this morning. Let's get to Eamon Javers.
Oh,
Hey,
they're
Eamon.
talking about it now.
Carl, a long and detailed confirmation now
But, like,
from
bro,
President Trump
'cause I
on
think
his
he's a
conversation
smart guy,
by telephone with President Xi
and I
Jinping
think they're working
of
on
China.
some
The
crazy
president said the
stuff.
call
I think
lasted
he's
about
scary.
an hour
He's
and a
terrifying.
half. He says they discussed
But
a range of topics.
he
but
kind of
focused
just
almost
remind me of,
entirely
like,
on
for
trade.
this cycle,
He says there
he's like
should
the
no
Kathy
longer
Woods,
be any
just
questions
rebranded as
respecting
like
the
an AI
complexity of
cycle.
rare earth
That's
products.
it. He's just the
Not
Kathy Woods
entirely
for this
clear
cycle.
what that means,
No?
of course. But he
You
also
tell me.
says our respective
Hot take.
teams
I think he'll do
will be
better
meeting
than Kathy,
shortly
but
at a
still.
location to be determined.
They're giving me
He'll
those
be
vibes.
represented by Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent, Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick, and United States Trade Representative Ambassador Jameson Greer. He also says that he was invited to China and that he invited in turn
Do you think it's
Xi Jinping
reasonable
to the
the
United
markets
States for
trade
a
at
visit. He
tariff
says
highs, though
it's something
nothing
that we
has been
both look
signed?
forward to doing.
Yeah, I don't think
He says
anything in the
the
economy has
conversation was
changed in a
focused
year.
almost entirely
I've been
on
saying
trade.
that.
Says nothing was discussed
So I think
concerning
we're the
Russia,
same as
Ukraine,
here
or
as we
Iran,
were
and we'll inform the media as soon as the
over
meeting
here.
is scheduled. So clearly a high-level
Around like,
meeting between
ever
these two
since like
sides coming
October,
up
even
at
like
some point
August, really the
TBD.
flash crash.
Not
I think
clear
we're exactly
from
the
this
same.
statement
Nothing
whether
in the
anything at
economy
all
has
had been
changed.
agreed to
At all.
other than the existence of a meeting and
Baba.
these mutual invitations and gestures of respect
Oh,
from the two
pony.
leaders back
I
and
hate
forth.
that
So you
pony
have
one,
to
but
say a
isn't that one
positive
China?
phone call here, but maybe lacking some of the detail in terms of agreements or agreements to have agreements that I think some folks on Wall Street were looking for. Also, we got some comments from Xi Jinping to Chinese state media over the past 20 minutes while you guys were in that interview. A couple of things that Xi Jinping said that were kind of interesting. One is he said that Trump is welcome to visit China again. He said the U.S. should cancel negative measures taken against China and that both sides should enhance their exchanges. He said the two sides should enhance exchanges in
CDNS,
diplomatic, economic,
IBM,
trade,
all right,
military,
spies
and law
moving. I'm
enforcement.
telling you, you're
He
going to
also,
do way better
made a
with
couple points
individual
about
plays
Taiwan,
with time.
which is interesting. He
contracts
said
are just
the
hella
U.S. should
scammy
handle the
without the
Taiwan
follow-through.
issue carefully, and the U.S.
Does
should
any of
avoid
the
a very
plays
small
taken
number
on
of
individuals?
Taiwan
They went up.
independent separatists
They actually
who are
moved.
dragging China and the U.S. into a dangerous situation and conflict and confrontation. So while the President of the United States' statement on this call said that it was almost entirely focused on trade, the President of China suggests they did talk about Taiwan, and the President of China issued some warnings to the U.S. side, Carl.
So if we are in a mode now where we're renewing a schedule for talks and maybe even meetings, Eamon, are we back to even on the Geneva handshake?
It's a good question, right? I mean, this is now setting up a much higher level meeting of high level officials, and then the two heads of state meeting at some point in China and the United States. Not clear, Carl, from this when any of that will happen. So, you know, does that happen before or after the president's deadline for Chinese tariffs? That's an open question at this point. We'll try to get some clarity from the White House if they have any sense of when that could happen. And then the other question is on the rare earths. I mean, this sentence from the president is a little bit enigmatic. He said there should no longer be any questions
again, this is
respecting
all of
the
the
complexity
shit.
of rare earth
This is all
products.
the same stuff.
So we'll see what comes
I
of
don't know
that.
what that means exactly.
Yeah.
Not clear what that
Again,
means.
I put out the
But
stream alert
visits
ahead. It's
and
all
high-level
just
meetings,
the trade
that's
deal stuff
positive.
for round
It's better
two.
than nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A lot of positive rhetoric here, definitely.
Yeah, positive
A lot of
rhetoric
positive
and respectful.
rhetoric.
Thank you, Eamon Jabbers. I'm heading over to I'm missing the next hour because I'll be at the Economic Club of New York to interview the Fed Governor, Adriana Kugler.
All right, Spy's going to break out. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick before they end it.
Later on in the day, she's a Fed governor, gets a vote at every meeting, and also has a good international sensibility. Used to work at the World Bank. She's also been a labor economist, so we'll ask what she makes of some of the recent signs on the job market.
Good. You're going to walk there?
I'm not going to walk.
Oh, you're not.
And if
It's
I
very
was going
close,
to walk,
isn't it?
no,
Oh, no, it's the
Midtown.
Economic Club, not the Fed. Okay, sorry.
I wouldn't use my phone if I walk. So do not use your phone when you're walking around because you can then hit things, which I did. I rammed a metal box attached to a
Thankfully,
street
you're
pole.
okay.
I'm okay, but I'm a little
for wear.
banged up. Thank God for the makeup artist and for the group of Argentinian tourists who basically rescued me and cleaned me up. Just had to get that out there.
Meantime, a big test for the IPO market today as Circle goes public.
Yeah,
Jeremy
bro, all
Allaire's
the
with
China
us
plays
when
hit.
Money Movers begins in just a couple of minutes.
Oh, I think there's one more. Hold on, I need to go pee. I just made one more play. But I want to take one more China one, but maybe I have enough already. And again, this is what I was saying on that stream alert. I was saying just go in advance, but we didn't know what was going to happen. But yes, let's see. Nah, the rest suck. All right, I'm cool with those. All right, Chad. Well, yeah, again, even TV is saying it's bullish. I thought it was bullish right away. You could go back and listen, but it didn't change much. I think the SPY's going to be fucking sticky as hell still, but I think it is like round two. That's what I was trying to say. If you remember the first trade war, phase two, and then now the carrot that you're going to be looking for, you're going to go, oh, they're going to China, they're coming here. You're going to hear that back and forth. So not bad, but there you go. Now I made a SPY play. I lost on one of them because I didn't. It was the short term suck. The one with time, every play I made with time right there, they're all going up. Every play with little time did not work, even if you were early and positioned well. Again, my play went up. I just sold out early because I was rethinking it. But even then, it's still just get time. I think you're going to be fine. Otherwise, too, make up your minds, though, too. You're still going to, I think it's going to be sticky. You're going to hear another update, and we still need to hear from Germany today. So you're not out of the clear just yet. Bonds new low, yeah. But I think the bonds were the signal. Remember, I was telling you, I was like, bonds going down is bullish. Because today, every time it was going up, the market was coming down. And then as that call announcement was happening, the bonds just plummeted, and we didn't move. So, yeah. Reopen 3 month. This one doesn't matter. These are 3-year notes, and then some of them are reopened. And then 10-cent THC on the high. Okay. All right, can I go pee? I need to go pee. Do they have a commercial break? We did good. I'm not mad. Again, Nibis, we killed that. And then, I took my little one there, but we got some good plays already. And then, again, I go look at that stream alert. I gave you the fucking warning in advance. I said just position on the China plays before, and then that in Germany. So that all worked out. I'm not mad. And my laughter. So let me go pee.
In that
Follow me on
landscape.
Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. Real Code News on Twitter.
With incredible conversations with Alphabet Sundar Pichai, Meta's Andrew Bosworth. Right now, the tech sector is also very focused, Caro, and markets are right about the
Bro, I
discussion
want a
between
GRR, bro. I'm
and
trying to go
China's
pee.
Xi Jinping.
And it's giving a positive spin. To
That
markets.
news
Nasdaq
gorilla.
coming out of its
Money movers. I'm Carl Quintanilla. Morgan Brennan's with
What's
us
happening?
here at 9 of the New York Stock
Yeah, I left
Exchange.
too many on.
We're going to begin
All right,
with
I'll
some
be right
breaking news and the latest developments in the U.S.-China trade talks. Let's get right to Eunice Yoon in Beijing. Eunice?
Okay, we're going to come back to Eunice as soon as we get those technical difficulties sorted. In the meantime, let's focus here on markets. You got the Dow basically flat. How they're reacting to the evolution of President Trump's tariff policies with our next guest. Joining us here at Post 9, Deutsche Bank Chief U.S. Equity and Global Strategist Binky Chadha. Binky, it's great to have you on. Let's start right there because you put out some research that's pretty constructive here. And you had basically said back in late April that if you start to see this evolution of trade policies, you start to see a movement towards more deals or even just a backing off on the rates of tariffs, we could see a rally. That has happened.
Exactly. I think, sort of the key question here is the market's obviously from the bottom up, around 20%. And so the perception is that, it must be running out of steam, everybody must be getting overweight, and the market's overbought. What I would emphasize is that if you look at our measures of equity positioning, market's still actually underweight, pretty significantly so. I mean, I would characterize in bigger picture as like a moderate underweight, but we are sort of, on a Z-score basis between +1 and -1, we're sitting at -0.5. What I would also emphasize is that if you look at systematic strategies, it's way lower at about -0.8. And if you look at the last week, what you basically see is the S&P 500 basically, moving up and down, but basically within sort of 60 basis points. So as ranges come down, vol comes down, and systematic strategies have to raise exposure. Now, the market's about the discretionary investors or the fundamentals-based investors, and they're basically sitting at neutral. So, we think positioning has, plenty of legs basically to go up, plenty of room to go up. If you think about the tariff impact, I mean, I think, to us, the biggest indicator is, if you look at the consumer companies reporting, they're very vulnerable to tariffs, but I don't really see any signs of anybody
holy
going
shit, bro.
sort of back into the bunker.
What is it? I think that's not related to it. I see something on Anduril, and then you got a Danish rate cut.
40-50%, in part because of tariffs. Stocks doing just fine.
Dollar trade just this week.
Because we're expecting an acceleration in the second half. So what I would also say is the tariff hit has come down, and the coming down is pretty significant.
I don't know what's going on
so
with TTD. I found a cheap-ass one.
Now we're talking about a 5%
I did my
hit.
thing,
and
bro.
5% hit is arguably, within normal variation.
Of course,
at the upper limits of it, but sorry.
A big part of it is the trade talks, as you mentioned, and our Eunice Yoon does have that hit ready for us in Beijing.
Yeah, it's down 2.5. I got the penny plays, bro.
Hey guys, yeah, well, this statement and the conversation that President Xi Jinping and President Trump had, it appears to be, and I think is going to be, perceived here in China as a win for China. The readout from the Chinese side is suggesting that President Xi Jinping had essentially given a lecture to President Trump on the correct course of action for Sino-U.S. relations. He mentioned the Geneva talks, basically reiterated China's position that we've been hearing, that both sides, or rather that the Chinese people have always kept their promises, that the Geneva talks, from the Chinese perspective, that China had seriously implemented this agreement.
Advertisers are shifting from TTD to Amazon. That's the news.
As to what Xi Jinping actually wants, and that is that the United States should handle the Taiwan issue very sensitively. There was, of course, a bit of an outreach.
That's the news on TTD,
to try to
Amazon
move
shift.
the conversation a little bit forward by having the two potentially meet at some point in the future. But this readout really doesn't suggest that China has given up very much. Earlier, I heard Eamon Javers bringing up
they won't. My
post
contracts are going. They're taking me straight to July.
And then you guys had
so
brought
I'm going
up the
quick,
idea
but I'm
of the
making
rare
mistakes,
earths
but it's
President
helping.
Trump had said that he
Because I'm not going
understands
for the
now
ones with
how
no time on
complicated
there, but
the
I don't
rare
know how I
earths
found that one.
situation is,
Yeah, it
and
hasn't
that
moved yet. I put
actually
in an
would also
order.
be
We'll see if it
perceived
fails.
as a win for China, because the Chinese have been arguing that officially
Zeta?
with that
Or no, what
Geneva
was the other one
statement,
today?
they
Zeta.
were supposed to actually issue a notice about the rare
Okay,
earths
TTD
export
down now
curbs,
4.
and there was a
Spies
wide
kind of slowing down.
expectation that
Honestly,
those
just
would be
watch the
lifted.
bonds as
However,
like an indicator, bro.
from the Chinese perspective, they have said that this is very complicated, that there are all these approvals that need to be made, that it's a 45-day process, and so to
Then
me that
CVS
seems
is
to
running
communicate
again.
that President Trump is now agreeing with President Xi and the Chinese perspective that that it's okay that these rare earth export
Oscar,
curbs are
Target,
taking so
App.
long to get approved for
Biotech,
American
Target's
industry.
running up. Biotechs are on the high.
Eunice Yoon, thank you. Thank you. I want to get your response to that, especially because I think we always have to take all of these printouts, whatever country, with a grain of salt, because they're being presented through the lens of the leadership of that country with the rhetoric that's attached to that. That being said, you do have tariffs tied up in court here in the U.S. And I do have to wonder, especially if you're China, if you have an opportunity to sit back and enjoy some leverage here.
Bro, the
as
high
that goes
ticker
through the
too
court
is still
process.
pretty active.
Yeah,
TTD still
I think
dumping.
A lot of the dialogue
Contracts
has
are still
sort of
around
gone
the same
to
as
basically
before.
a level where we are discussing trade as a zero-sum game. I mean, it's like trade theory 101 tells you that. So if we keep
the market
insisting
makers
on
front
talking
running me
about
now.
who's winning,
They just put a
I
bunch
think,
of cells on my
the
cell.
simple point is we're all
And
going to
there's
lose.
zero
because
open interest.
The gains from trade are positive for both
Scammers.
sides. And so I think we need to switch the dialogue to be a little bit more constructive. I think
I
from a game
made a
theoretic
video
point of
on
view,
Walgreens like
the
a
game
month or
that's
two
being
ago.
played is
So
tit
you
for
just
tat.
missed it, unfortunately.
That's
and we explained
it's
what the
the
process
first game.
was. It was on one of the watch
But
lists
you can't win.
and
But one of your
value,
base
and then I
cases
said,
earlier in the year was that
depending
there
on
would
which
be
outcome
I think
you
you called
wanted,
it a relent.
you can decide
on
from there.
the part of, I guess, either side.
Right.
Dollar
You think that's
Tree
playing out?
So we meant it on the U.S. side, to be very clear, and that remains basically our view. The view was that basically if negative impacts start to show up, then you're going to get a relent. In the event, we got a relent much earlier than we expected, and it was primarily and only driven really by the market reaction, because we haven't seen the hard data deteriorate. You saw approval ratings come down on the political side, but we didn't get to sort of any pain level. We didn't get into the 30s, which is where we could have.
Right.
We were certainly on a trajectory to get there. So it's kind of like, stalled is the way I would put it. We don't have a complete relent. But, if you look forward and you're thinking about equities, then, downside risks matter. And, if this is what we are learning about the reaction function, and I would actually argue that the reaction function, despite all the rhetoric to the contrary, looks just like the reaction function in Trade War 1.0. So we are now approaching in the market basically levels. So when we get to new highs, the market is going to be vulnerable because the typical pattern is you escalate at the top and you de-escalate at the bottom.
You have Germany's new chancellor, Merz, is meeting with President Trump in the White House. We're expecting that sometime this hour, potentially. So set sights on Europe. DAX has been on fire. Does that continue? What continues it?
I think it continues. And I think the perception is that if you look at the market, Europe has rallied very hard, and like, it's got to stop. But I think if you think about it, basically over time, the simple fact of the matter is that basically the U.S. was growing what I would call normally before the pandemic collapse, returns to normal growth. And what happened in the rest of the world is that we had normal growth collapse, and just as we were recovering, we had basically the beginning of 2022, which is Russia-Ukraine, and activity's gone sideways. If it's going sideways, it's telling you that intrinsic dynamics are not bad, because then we should have been going down. So I would argue it was primed for a recovery, and we're getting basically the positive aspects of defense.
Oh, dude, I was muted. Yeah, my bad. I was saying, I was like, why? I kept the other guy on. I just came back from the bathroom. But yeah, so we got the China news, the call. It wasn't the best news, you know, but it's saying round 2 talks and what to look ahead to. So that's where we're at now with all of it. And then it's happening while we're at the level. So again, we're coming back up. Today you started off a little weaker, but now you are going back up to the 59.85, 59.90. And then you have the, again, you have the headline. So we're still going to wait here on Germany, but for now, it's just telling you, again, people are looking ahead for something else with China. But yeah, let's see how it plays by Friday. Dag everything, bro. And the Nibis contracts are crazy. They're already free, and then that's it though. But that one's still holding. Everything that was up in the morning, and then like I said, you had like 100 names come out of nowhere on the checkup. So like 10 more names on the Dow. SPY had like 20. The Nasdaq did a little bit better too. And then like I'm saying, I think the levels are sticky because you're near the highs. But now you have a catalyst, and now you're back at the level. And then tomorrow is the final day. So you could either break 6,000 and then get the data, or you don't break 6,000 until you get the data. But then again, now we're going to wait till Germany, but you're running all off of, everyone's going to now look ahead for, wait a minute, round 2. What do we look for next? So, ta-da. Baba. All right. Perfect. Feel it. Yeah, Oscar, bro. That watch list. SEPN. Yeah, TTD. I'm surprised that one didn't hit, honestly. Usually those are the hitters. KPRX, Baba breaking out, man. Yeah, the indexes are still below. That's what I'm telling you, man. The SPY is shit. You got to go individuals. Individuals with time, you're going to have a way better shot at making money on this if you're trading it. Other than that, though, the SPY is like, dude, this is right back to open. And yeah, you're not getting really that much velocity. So just be careful on there. But again, no, you're reacting to this China shit. And then we are also awaiting Germany next. So let's see. And then honestly, this whole month, you're going to get headlines like this probably back and forth. GRRR, we saw that one. That was fun to say. GRRRRRRR. Oh, E-Hang now. That was the one from yesterday. So again, these China hype plays if you want to get them. But that's, again, that is a really wild game of musical chairs. E-Hang, that was yesterday. Now there's Amazon. And SPY's still up. If we could get a Meta, Microsoft, Apple, bro, you get any of those moving, you'll be breaking out soon. Yeah, Tesla, there's a lot of things holding it down. I mean, you still have like 200-300 names down on the SPY. More than half of the Nasdaq is down or red on the Dow is red. And then the Nasdaq just went from 50-50 to leaning towards the bulls. But yeah, so there's several hundred names that are lower than yesterday. Some even way lower. Equal weight is up. Yeah, SPY's up by 0.26. So you have more of a tech impact. Oh, that Phil? Fuck yeah. All right, I got a free one. I got one of those China plays free. NATO adopts military buildup plans as part of new spending goal. Is stream alerts be opened? I don't know. Maybe one day, but until then, focus on the long term. Even if you're not able to lock in, that's been the thing. And again, the long term is killing it. So, but one day it will. But till then, you're going to have to be patient and long term it up. Alrighty. Gold new low. Bro, Danish cut rates. That's why I'm like, gold, all that. Now, look, bonds, as we're breaking down, I was telling you earlier, bro, I'm like, yo, EHang, that's the China one. But like I was telling you guys, like, dude, if the bonds are coming down, it's like borderline bullish. It's actually kind of wicked. Coop on the high. Oh, I'm trying to check something. All right, well, you're still going up. It's not the high of yesterday, but it's slowly getting there. I will chill. But I like some of these. All right. And then, yeah, now you're really running, though. You're breaking one of the levels. All right, so get ready. That's a new high now, 5993. That's it, you guys. 5997, 5999, and then 6000. So now you have the... now you have it all. Like, you have the catalyst. You have something to go. I thought we were going to have to wait till Friday, but this China shit might be enough. So, yeah, it's still the same thing. Wait till Germany, but you were already melting up without any of this. So, what do you think is happening? Making a contract free. Once I've made it free, you do whatever you want with it. But the idea is you spend, and again, this question gets asked every day because I do it every day. I get a free play every day usually. But you guys need to figure this out as soon as possible because it's the easiest strategy in the world. What you do is you buy options or stock and then it goes up in value and then you sell out to get your initial investment back. So on my latest play, I put down $200 for several contracts and then it goes up. And now I was able to sell the contracts and get $200 back and then walk away with a couple of those contracts still in my portfolio. Those are free contracts. So if it goes to zero, I don't lose anything. And then if it goes up, I sell them whenever I want to take the money, and those are my profits. And there you go. And that's how you could play some of these and lower the risk. I don't tell you my strikes. Not anymore. Because then that way, too, you can't even blame me for pumping and dumping. You don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't need anybody to do it. That's why. So shame on you for years who have said that. But, yeah. So you could use the concept, the idea, the same stock, the news. You could see the info I'm acting on, and you could do the same. But, yeah, you got to do it that way. Horrible advice? Well, maybe it's not for everybody, but it sure as hell works for me, brother. So, yeah, maybe options aren't that simple, but again, works for me, brother, for a long, long time, and thousands of others. All right, 5988. Make it free changed your life? Wow. No way. Amazing. Amazing. EHang. That's the other China hype one. And then Snow. I think Circle is just overpriced for now. We'll see what happens. Nobody doesn't have a long term. Oh. Straight up for 6 weeks. No, we spent 2 weeks going nowhere. That's what May 16th to today. We literally did not advance. So that gave people time. But other than that, this is the high. We're about to hit 6,000. That's it. I mean, as long as Germany doesn't get in the way, you're 4 points away from it. And there you have it. Well. Another one for the long term. Future's already there. Yeah, it doesn't count. Need some equities. All right. High ticker's on full blast right now. That's it. Apple's part of the China plays, low key. So Pony's the other China hype one. Yeah, I'm surprised Apple's not even moving like that. Baba came down, but the plays are still up like 50 to 60. Yeah, literally 40 on the bid. And then the Ponies are up, but they're down. And then those E-hangs, I wanted those, but those are up still. But yeah, that one was crazy. All right, DKS. Again, watch Nike and all those others, and then it's just a matter of 6,000. It might slow down a little ahead. So don't be surprised if we get up to here and then sell off and then test it again, if that makes any sense. I know you want a clean break, but you never know. But other than that, you know what to look out for. Talk shit about J-Pal and how much of a pansy he is. Show me your long term, and I won't ban you. How about that? Or send me $100, because that's it. You have lost all of your patience with me. Because you don't understand options, so you rage at the guy who does. And then now you want to talk that shit? Nah, you need more money or you need a long term to take this any further, brother. So make up your mind. You're on a 10-second delay, and I'll give you another minute or so. All right, brother? But thanks for the money either way. You thought shit was cute, huh? Fucking LYV and Robinhood again. All right, man. So see, then ANAB on the low. Ha 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 ha. Thank you, brother. Ring the register. $5. Actually, no, you know what I'm going to do? Today, we're going to Philo an hour earlier. Because all the people on Twitter, all you little fuckers like that. Because remember, I haven't gone fully private. Y'all keep crying for 1 hour, for 2 hours. Okay? So now today, we're going to go earlier. I'd buy your membership if I were you. I know, especially on a day like today, near the highs. Oh, man. Yikes. I know, they take the frustration. They don't have long terms, I promise you. Because you heard every little ding-ding. You heard every play I hit. You see every log. I'm just saying, bro. So, yeah, but you're going to need a membership earlier now. Because the Chads who don't want to be a part of it but want to complain, they want to push it. So let's push it. Let's do it. I'm down. I get paid off of it, and the Chads who love it, they get even more. We could eliminate the time delay then. But yeah, we're going to need more members and less public. So yeah, I'm doing it, baby. I'm doing it. So yeah, we're going to go to Philo in 30 minutes. So you better have your thing, and we won't be back till power hour. I know. I was trying to put Yash away, but they like him. I'm going to give them what they want. We got to get U.S. Lutnick reiterates desire for weather cloud infrastructure. What? You want cloud seeding? Let's go, baby. Yeah, early. Well, it won't be early Philo. We'll still Philo at the same time, but I think because again, if you're going to talk shit, I might as well live up to it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, imagine people telling me, they're like, oh, you're not free anymore. You're not free. I complain. I don't support channel. I no like video. I gatekeep. But I complain. Channel not free. Okay. You're right. You're right. It's not free? That's weird. Because I woke up at 5, 4. So, yeah, I feel you. We have to make it more private before we could make it more public then. That's how it works. So, yeah, if you want to be there for the IPO, you're going to need one. I know. Philo 6'5", baby. Well, no, man. There's good non-members, and now, but this dynamic works better because now when the non-members get in, they realize the gem they have. That's what I'm saying, bro. I've never seen this many new people show so much love for Philo. They truly feel like they have discovered a treasure, you know, because we don't throw the pearls to pigs. So, amen. I'm glad. It's sad, but, you know, I think there's some good people out there, and thank you to all the Chads who have gifted a membership to allow other people to have that opportunity. I really appreciate you, so thank you. Thank you. No, for real, y'all did it. Y'all really showed them. And then, like, you know, it worked. You had my back by giving those memberships. It really, I didn't plan that part out, and I didn't use, that was the part I didn't think about as much. And y'all came in and y'all figured it out for me, for real. Cause like, it's so effective. So thank you, for real, always. Like, that's why y'all, it's funny too, cause if they get banned, you laugh, but y'all really did give them a door that I wasn't thinking about. So thank you. So let's go. And now we gotta wait all summer till we get the long term. Woo! Edwards, Khan, well, thank you. I appreciate y'all. That's what I'm talking about. You should be excited for your first Philo. That's what I'm saying. That's what happens. Amen, bro. Amen. I hope some of you get your first Philo. You may enjoy it. And, you know, and that's just for you now. That's just for you. It's not for everybody, bro. That's it. So, yeah, I got to hit most of my trades today. New long-term high. And now another shit talker. Y'all just ran it up for me again. Thank you. So keep going. Apple. Apple on the high. Yeah, I wanted to look there. I don't know. Apple's the only one that hasn't moved, big dog. I appreciate you too, brother, but no rocket ships, please. Yeah, you got to read the rules, man. But amen. I'm looking right now. I think Apple might be there. It's lagging comparatively, bro. It's staying pinned. SPY going now. You're a couple more points away from the high. Yeah, right. Equal weights. This is all going to be tech now with Apple. 599 sacks. 3 points away, bro. Crazy. That was your first Philo, K? No way, bro. That's awesome. I feel like I've known you longer than that. That's nuts. Good for you. May you be blessed in your journey, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, there's some cheap apples, but I don't know. I've done a lot today. I'm kind of over it. And again, I'm just riding my fucking Nibis, too. I don't want to fuck up a good day. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you fuck up a good day. Let me find one lagger. And then I got you. Just to stay awake on the catwalk of life where everybody watch you. Oh, they're relatively the same. Pay the plug, baby. Ooh! Thank you. All right, man, I'm glad. I'm glad you booked it too, bro. Because you got to hit the profits, man. Because like I said, last couple weeks, I haven't been hitting the same way. We had really big winners, but it wasn't like a month ago where I was hitting 9 out of 10 of them. You know, I'll hit like 2, 3 out of 10, and those will pay for all of them. But yeah, that's why you got to pay yourself on these. And that Nibis was a fucking gift, dude. We just woke, again, all of them are paying heavy. Thank you, Mako. I appreciate y'all, man, for real. That's why I hope any day, bro, y'all better understand how much I love some of y'all. And I hope you don't let I hope you find the clapbacks humorous, because I am not referencing a lot of you. So, and I'm very grateful for my grateful people. It's honestly my fatal flaw, because I should be more grateful, because I am grateful for the people who don't like me, because you have to watch. You have to. You know that? God put you here so I could ball on you in the presence of my enemies. That's literally in the Bible, bro. So I'm sorry, but I'm not. But at the end of the day, it's like, bro, I hope y'all enjoy it, and I love some of y'all, and the appreciation y'all give back. I should appreciate some of the other people, but oh man, I love it, man. So I like to see it, and y'all get me even more motivated. But please, all of these talks, all of these trades, every little fucking element of this is all useless if you do not save 10% and get a long term. Make no mistake. All right? So all this talking, all these spies, all these trades, all these members, all dumb as shit without a long term. Don't ever forget that. You must become an owner. That is how. Otherwise, you're going to get mad and be like that other little weird guy. You see what I'm saying? You got to become an owner. All of you. That's why I'm here. That's our purpose. That's how we win. All of us. Goldman expects ECB to deliver rate cut in September. Dev Patel. Darren, 2 more till the chat. Isn't that crazy? 58 months. Stop it. Sorry, we're talking 5 years, bro. 6 years. These guys, stop it. Striving to be an owner. You are an owner. That's it. You don't need to strive. You are. I promise you. All of you are owners. You just have not lived in it. You see what I'm saying? And you got to believe it. And that's why you are worthy and you are called to own this shit. You know that? Oh, man. Why do I hate you? So what's going to happen next, Chad? So Chad comes in the middle of all this conversation and love. He's like, Josh, why do you hate me? What is Josh going to do next? Does anybody know? Let's see if they know what I'm going to do next to that comment. Let's see. It was, yeah, but you got to do something with it now. You know what I'm saying? You got to take the Nibis, and your problem with Nibis now is you got to figure out, do you take the 500% now, or do you run it up and try to get a core weave? You see what I'm saying? So that gift could turn into a curse, or it could be a gift, but that I can't help you with that. You see what I'm saying? We got the core weave. We got in that. You have to now decide what frustration do you want to deal with? Selling too early or selling too late and not making money? You got to decide which one is more important. See, so yeah, look, all the Chads knew what was going to happen. Don't do that. So that's it, man. But that's why, if you're ever confused, listen, you'll get used to the culture pretty quick. Core Scientific APLD. Damn, that pony one went up still. How much, Habibi? Same gain as before. And then the SLVs are back up. Dude, I can't believe those didn't go down. I thought those would have dumped. That's really good for next time. Because, bro, that thing gapped up 5.5. The plays were up 70 in the morning, and they're still up 50. You only lost 20%. Any other option on a commodity would have just drained you. I really like that. But yeah, fucking silver, dude. Rate cut news was Danish, yeah. That's a thing, bro. Are you ready? Do you guys want tinfoil? Trump criticizes CBO for not stating tariff calculations sooner. Lutnick focused on chips, trying to get 5 million wafers during Trump. Where is Lutnick? But yeah, do you want my tinfoil? I have tin. So ECB cuts rates today. So do the Danish, right? Are you ready for this? Are you ready? My tinfoil is that the United States is the new carry trade. Bitcoin ATM operator CoinFlip said to explore sale. Who's CoinFlip? They're private. All of them are private. NATO rut, there's broad support for 5 spending. But yeah, my tinfoil is the U.S. is the new carry trade. Do you not realize how ridiculous it is? I already showed you guys some of the evidence on the watch list. As everybody was telling you the end of America trade, they literally bought it. No exaggeration, they literally bought it. As everyone's telling you America sucks, the rest of the world, their EPSs have all been revised lower. Ours are higher, right? Everyone's telling you not to buy it. And now think about it. Everybody in the world is lowering rates right now. Bro, you could go to Europe and borrow at 2%. You could go to the Danish and borrow for 1.5. So do you get it? Do you see how it's a carry trade? You could go to Europe, borrow at 1 to 2% in Europe, and then take it to America and buy a bond and get 4. Easy. Right there. You could borrow at 1 and instantly yield 4 to 4.5 in America on a US dollar, the #1 currency. There you go. So yeah, I'm like, this is ridiculous. So as everyone's lowering rates, it's getting cheaper and cheaper for them to just buy our assets, especially even on like fixed income. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, there you have it. And then yeah, Lutnick is before Congress again. Oh wait, the Germany thing is getting ready too. No one watches Lutnick anymore. No one cares.
Statutory.
That's what I was saying.
So it needs
like
to
yesterday, he didn't even cause any
certainly
movement.
at some level. And there's a lot of
hey, high ticker's moving, but SPY's coming down. Watch out, low ticker has a couple names moving.
On this issue and asked for a response by April 18th. I don't think we've received it yet, so I would ask that you provide that response as well. Let me move quickly to quantum technology. This is kind of a quicker point for me, but quantum computing.
Yo,
this chart
NVIDIA
shows
is launching
basically
now.
funding
Hold
by,
up, and
by
Broadcom.
governments.
Yo,
China,
NVIDIA.
as you can see, far out.
So okay, that's
going
to help lead here now.
We've
if
got
you
a
want the
couple of
6,000 break,
I couldn't
you have
see
Apple
it, but I was
going.
guessing the top bar.
Yeah,
I didn't need to see the words.
NVIDIA.
I
So
got
what's
the
pulling you
Fair
down?
enough. Fair enough. Well, here's the question, because this is concerning, obviously, and you touched on this a bit in your opening testimony. You only talked about the enforcement side of competition with China, and clearly they are stealing a lot of our data, but they're also committing a lot of engineers, scientists, and resources to outpacing us on the legitimate side of this too, from the competitive side. I don't see that being reflected in not just the Commerce Department, but the overall U.S. budget. IonQ is a company in my district. It's a spinoff from the University of Maryland's incubator. We have a lot of those across the country.
This motherfucker just brought up IonQ.
Oh, man, I'm out of time already.
That's crazy.
The cuts that are being made, and there's an article I'll submit for the record here.
This guy has to own it.
World scientists look elsewhere as U.S. labs stagger under Trump cuts. New York Times cuts in research.
Yeah, bro, the BABA premiums are still up though.
As
That's
we
really
push these people
that's
out.
kind of crazy.
I mean, you can shake your head if you want, but I went to visit IonQ.
SPY near the high.
And one of the things that came up was
yeah,
like,
you're running
how
there.
many
Hold
of these
on.
people are from the
Look at the
United
high ticker.
States? And he said, not many.
It's tweaking
And I
right
said,
now,
why
bro. We're
is
either
that?
gonna
And he said,
sell
well,
off
in
or get
part
the break.
because the pipeline
It's
is
trying to fucking
supplying
move.
these here in the United
NVIDIA,
States. So we go
Apple,
overseas to
BABA
get
came
many of
down,
them.
and then you're just holding.
And one last quick point on this. A venture capital firm I had a chance to meet with said that they invest in, I think there are about 30 of these they invest in. They've started setting up shop in Canada because they can get their engineers and scientists from overseas quicker over there. They don't have to go through the immigration piece. So we're losing money on that front. So look forward to hearing from you on that. Mr. Chairman, I apologize for the overrun.
Trump reiterates call with Xi went very well.
Your generosity.
Mr. Klein?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, I appreciate you being here. As you've highlighted concerns about the potential for unfair treatment of American tech companies in the EU, which could potentially force them to make costly operational changes, can you share with us some of the steps the U.S. government's taking to promote a level playing field and prevent discriminatory practices like excessive fines and forced business model changes under regulations?
I'm surprised. I thought NVIDIA with Apple was going to do it, but then Apple chilled out as well. And
this is a key topic for us in our trade negotiations.
Something has to be taking you down. It might be Google.
We have a huge trade deficit in goods with the European Union, $235 billion. So they're just getting great advantage of us. And so part of our reciprocity is
I think the
they also attack our great technology companies because they don't have them.
For the underperformers.
So they write these bills.
I don't get it.
But basically, they could just write America in the bill.
So yeah,
they're only attacking great American companies. And it is the Trump administration's view that is unacceptable. That if you want to have a trade deal with us, you're going to take your foot off of the necks of the great American companies and treat them with respect. Especially if you're taking this much advantage
UAVs
from us.
And TXN.
So we are looking at that
UAVs,
as a one
small cap.
combined way of thinking, and that's why we get calls from American companies that say,
and team.
thank God someone is finally looking
everything's holding up, bro.
Can you elaborate on what steps the U.S. would take if the EU tries to regulate American AI through DMA or other regulatory means?
I think the president has made it clear that he views trade and that they have a $235 billion trade surplus with us. And he will say, well, if you're going to treat us poorly, we're going to treat you poorly. And
hey,
if
Nibis is coming down. The plays are still up, but
we'll treat you well.
It's going to make you think about your final decision.
In how we treat each other. You're taking advantage of us. And I think the president will make sure, since we are the inventor of all of the leading AI chips of the world, we, America, are the inventors. We create it all. We make them in Taiwan. That's another topic.
Microsoft now, bro. You have Microsoft, Apple, and NVIDIA at the highs. I'm surprised we haven't made the move yet. So yeah, bro, everything is in place.
Mr. Secretary, in your testimony,
yeah, Baba did sell. The premiums are up, so that's the odd part. And we're still running off that. And then Germany.
Can you expound upon
I have a video, but it's not live yet. But yeah, any moment now, you're gonna get Germany and America in that headline.
What is common is that a great American company puts a trademark
Again, you guys will need a membership. You can blame the crybabies today for making me realize
that generally China is the leader in it, but they're not exclusively.
I feel you.
They then file thousands of trademarks, modifying it slightly all around.
That is already up, but maybe
circle you and circle you. And use our
laws
watch
Broadcom again. That's the big one for today.
The idea is for us
to Meta's only up 0.15. You're right. That might be it.
Find them all and get
rid
of them
on the high,
so that
and
we can protect our American companies' trademarks and make it proper.
So Dow Jones,
instead of
19
being sort of
green now, even more.
By these
NVIDIA's ripping again,
trademarks.
and the SPY, Micron, U.S. Commerce, EU wants a deal, take foot off necks of tech companies.
So much more technological.
So yeah, he's pumping tech right now.
When we are done with this administration,
I just think the market wanted to move anyways.
As compared to
because again, you're at the level of new high 5998.
About the BEAD
One more
program.
point, that's it.
Yesterday, you told our Senate colleagues that states must choose the cheapest option under the BEAD program.
Most of the viewers are members, yes.
Mismanagement, misguided
so
attempts
even
at
if we
policy
have
like
6,000 people in the morning, we still have more members.
That program.
That's the ridiculous part.
What steps
they don't even. They still hide our channel.
On what the previous president was unable to do, and
so any holdouts, I don't know what to tell you. You're already
sure,
in
the Congress authorized broadband access to across America, and I want to make sure we get the benefit of the bargain. Which means there's three ways you can do it. You can do it by fiber. You can do it by what's called fixed wireless.
I don't know if that
Wi-Fi we all understand. And of course,
that's real volume.
Whichever is the most efficient.
No news on SoFi, but that was up from the morning, killing it.
Broadband. That should be the only rule. Let's have the outcome be the determiner. And if it's a tie, then of course we don't care at all which one you pick. But don't run fiber. They had proposals where they were running $100,000 fiber.
You got the red though.
To a house
I'm shocked.
That was
it wants
appraised
to
at
break,
$100,000.
like I said, it might not be clean,
That's
man.
So
you might have to pull
whichever
back
is
and then
reasonable.
go,
So what we've
pull back
asked
for
all the
3
states
hours,
to
then
do
go, or it's going
is,
to break and then pull back.
Rebid
NOC
just
proposing
with
alternate design
reasonable
for F-35.
technology, and then we'll get the money out the door in the calendar year 2025.
Oh,
the
it's
Biden
going down on
administration had 30 months, and they got
Check
zero
defenses.
out.
We haven't looked in a while.
That's the
CRISPR on
difference
the
between
high,
Trump
genetics.
administration and the Biden administration. We will
That's
get the money out.
interesting.
Thank you for
Again,
keeping
some
the
drugs
taxpayers
went
in
up
mind.
right now,
Appreciate
but I don't know. That came out of nowhere. CRISPR.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman,
but
for
it's
calling
following
us
the
together,
bull-
and thank you, Mr.
biotech.
Secretary. Also, as a fellow New Yorker, I congratulate you on your appointment. You mentioned earlier the mission of the U.S. Commerce Department. You said nothing will take away from our mission. How would you, in a sentence, describe the mission of the Commerce Department?
To protect, to defend, and to enhance.
EWF Labs lists
business in the United
Trump-linked
States of America.
USD1 stablecoin.
And the mission, according to the Commerce
Okay,
Department, is to create
spies
the
coming down. You
conditions
just had like a
for economic
like
growth
a late
and
stage
opportunities for all
tech
communities.
effort,
would
but
you
it didn't
agree with
work.
that definition as well?
Sounds excellent.
Okay, great. And I apologize.
Yeah,
5 minutes
SLV
is so
coming down
little
now
time.
too,
We could have
and
a
gold,
much
bro.
longer
Everything's
conversation,
kind of
but
draining.
we'll have the opportunity to do
Bonds
that.
haven't made a move in the
I
last like
wanna
30 minutes. It matches up with the SPY. Low key,
reiterate
that
what
might be
people
the
said.
answer,
This is
boys.
not your choice, but I
Just
would
wait till
pass
TLT
along to
moves.
the president that
'Cause
doing
look, it's
budget
pretty much
hearings
the same,
when
and
we
it
don't
gave
have a
us the
budget
early
is really
signal.
hard to do. It's hard
So
to drill
watch,
down
'cause with Germany and
numbers we
whatever,
don't have,
if bonds start
priorities that you
bidding or
have.
bonds
I
start
appreciate you
selling,
being
that'll
here.
be the
I appreciate
answer.
you defending the administration's approach, but it is really hard to do. So you don't need to respond to that. But I would love if you would provide, to whatever detail you can, the trillions of dollars of investment that have been made during the last couple of months and how we were able to achieve the commitments of those trillions. I will do note, because this subcommittee had a fair amount to do with the CHIPS and Science Act, that I suspect much of the chip investment being made, whether it's in Texas or whether it's in Arizona or made in upstate New York in Syracuse, is partly by the bipartisan CHIPS and Science Act. I hope you'll continue to continue those efforts.
Miguel, I didn't see that, bro. And Interior.
That in
What up?
talking to
Amen.
folks,
Trump,
both in
we
my
will have
region
great
and upstate New
relationship
York,
with
but
Germany.
throughout the state and other.
All right, I'm getting the headlines now. I'll read them to you when they come in. But yeah, I have the video. The video's not up yet. And then you got weed news coming out now. Congressional committee approves the bill to ban hemp products with THC. And then Trump just says great relationship with Germany. Be on the lookout. Like I was telling you, that was the next like major trade event. It may not even lead to anything, but that's the like event today that we were looking for besides the China shit.
Decisions are made
So, yeah,
to
watch out
advance
for that.
tariffs, sometimes reciprocal.
Only one headline so
sometimes and then retrench and then put them back in place.
Oh, no, I
retrench
got
again. That what I'm hearing, and this is different.
Sorry, Lutnick, your boss.
We are
Howard.
so much in common. Our
It's
history,
my turn, Howard.
We owe the Americans a lot. We will never forget about that. And so with your
text
German
POTUS. I'm
providence,
gonna do
I
it.
think
I've
this
never
is a
done
very
it.
good
I'm gonna
basis
text
for
POTUS.
close cooperation between America and Germany. So again, thank you. Thank you for the hospitality, and thank you for having
POTUS
your
to
guest house. For
45
great place. Great place. Many thanks for that. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
It's a wonderful place. It's a landmark also. And Blair House is it's a nice place to stay.
POTUS. Do I get put on a watch list?
Would you have any questions, please?
Mr. President, on your new travel ban, why now? And if the Boulder attack was part of your reasoning, why not include
America
Egypt
is
on
back.
that list where the
Let's get to
suspect
work.
is from?
Well, because
Nice.
Egypt has been a country that we deal with very closely. They have things under control. The countries that we have don't have things under control.
Airbus
And
delivered
why now? I
120
can say that it
aircraft
can't
in January
come
to
soon
May.
enough, frankly.
Germany has shared
We
goal
want to
of
keep bad
ending
people
war.
out of our country. The Biden administration allowed some horrendous people, and we're getting
MU
them out.
ripping.
One
Yo,
by one.
CRMD.
We're not
I saw
stopping
something
until
on
we
this
get
the
them
other
out.
day.
We
Core
have
Medic.
thousands
I remember
of murderers.
this. Big volume at the
I
high.
hate to say this in front of the chancellor. Of course, you have a little problem too with some of the people that were
Yeah,
out in
CRMD. What's
It's
the
not
news
your
on that?
fault. It's
Because
not
I
your
remember
fault. It
that, but
shouldn't
I
have
don't
happened.
remember.
I told her it shouldn't have happened. What
I'm
she did.
checking.
But you have your own difficulty with that, and we do, and we're moving them out, and we're moving them out very strongly.
Oh, Jeffries Conference,
but it
June
can't come
5th
fast
at
enough. We want to get 'em out.
3:45.
We want to get them out now. We don't want to have other
That's
bad
weird. That's
people coming
early.
into our country. Like,
So
using
Core
the
Medic
word
is going to
bad,
be
I'm
at a
being
Jeffries
nice.
conference
Okay,
at 3:45 Eastern.
You put out on Truth Social a post regarding your conversation with President Xi.
Right.
Can you talk about whether or not
Listen.
you feel that trade talks, trade relations are back on track after appearing to be a little bit off track last week?
A little bit off track. It was only the complexity. It's pretty complex stuff. We had a very good conversation with President Xi a little while ago, just before your arrival. In fact, we just hung up, and they said, "You're here." I said, "That's pretty good." Two great leaders of the world in a very short period of time. We had a very good talk, and we've straightened out any complexity. And it's very complex stuff, and we straightened it out. The agreement was we're going to have
City on the
Scott and Howard and Jameson will be going and meeting with their top people.
Yeah, so again, round two, sending
continue
people.
forward. But no, I think we have everything. I think
That's what I'm saying. That's going to be the next headline you're going to follow along with.
We have a deal with China, as you know, but we were straightening out some of the
Microsoft
points,
too now.
having to do mostly with rare earth magnets and some other things.
So rare
those
earth
reduced
was the
trade
reason?
tariff rates, they remain in effect?
Yeah, we have the deal. I mean, we've had a deal. We announced the deal, and
That's
we'll
good.
Be, I
So
guess
he's
you could
saying
say
the lower
I wouldn't
tariffs
even
are
say
still in
finalizing
agreement.
it up, Scott. I would say we have a deal, and we're going to just make sure that everybody understands what the deal is. Okay. We had a
That's what
really
I'm saying.
good
It's not like the
conversation. By
best
way, he
news, but
invited
it's
me to
still an
China, and I
update, and
invited
now
him.
you know what to look ahead for.
Accepted. So I'll be going there with the First Lady.
Trammell,
at a certain
TRML
point,
on the high.
he'll be
And
coming
yeah,
here
bro, it makes sense.
First Lady.
There's I forgot, there's like Goldman and then the other one. There's a bunch of healthcare conferences today and throughout the week.
About the Chinese students, are you allowing them to come to
Oh yeah,
to
no,
the
wait,
US?
no, Chinese students are coming. No problem. No problem.
Okay,
It's our honor to have them, frankly. Look, we want to have foreign students, but we want
Oh,
them
that's
to be checked. You know, in the case of
good.
Harvard and Columbia
CRISPR
and
still.
others.
CRISPR might be at one of those
All
health
we want to do is
conferences.
see their list. There's no problem with that. This is anybody outside of our country, international students. Because when we see some of the people that we've been watching, we say, where do these people come from? How is that possible? No, we want to have foreign students come. We're very honored by it, but we want to see their list. Harvard didn't want to give us the list. They're going to be giving us the
Zillow
list.
again. High ticker's
I
gassing,
think they're
bro.
starting to behave.
So
actually,
again,
if you
big
wanna
tech
know.
has to be holding you back right now. Look at the high ticker right now. SPY's not even moving.
Are you willing to put more pressure on Putin to end the war by imposing new sanctions on Russia and also on China?
Well, remember, I'm the one that ended Nord Stream 2, going to a place called Germany, come to think of it. I'm sorry I did that. But I ended Nord
I'm
Stream 2.
sorry I
Nobody
did
else
that. I forgot you
And
here.
then when Biden came in, he immediately approved it.
Don't
That's
worry,
the largest,
Donald.
essentially
Oh,
the
very
largest
friendly,
pipeline in the
Donald.
world,
Don't
going
worry
to
about
Germany
it,
and
Donald.
other countries. And by the way, we have
Want to
so
make
much
oil and gas part of
gas,
trade deals.
you will not be able to buy it all. I mean, you literally, we have so much. And I
Iraq.
hope we're going to make that a part of our trade deal because we have more than anybody else. We have actually the most by far in the world, probably double what anyone else has. So we'll work on that. I'm sure that's something we'll discuss today.
Mr. President, Mr. President.
What do you expect from Germany?
Meta's coming down. Autodesk running now. Only 19 highs of the
Well,
day.
first of all, I'm glad to meet because I've been dealing with the chancellor, and he's very,
Okay, now you're talking Germany.
very good man to deal with. He's difficult, I would say.
Hold on
Can I
the
say
low.
that? It's a positive.
Trump
You
says
wouldn't
he
want
will
me
be
say
going
you're
to
easy,
China.
right?
The wires are hitting
He's
that.
a
They're going to
very
love it.
Great representative. of
Trump
Germany.
said
I
he
think
will be
all
going
we,
to China.
Want is just going to have a good relationship. The
Okay, a
rest
lot
will
of
just
things
sort of
now. A
follow
couple new ones.
very
Adobe,
easily. We'll
and then
have
again, a lot of
good trade
biotechs,
deal. I mean,
healthcare,
I guess
and then
that
now
will be
on the
mostly
wire,
determined by the
Trump will be
European
going
Union,
to
but
China.
you're a very big part of that, so you'll be involved. But we'll end up hopefully with a trade deal, or we'll do something. You
Okay,
know,
let me
we'll
go
do the
peek.
tariffs. I mean, I'm okay with the
Talking trade
tariffs,
deal
or
with
we
even
make a deal
Germany.
with the trade, and I guess that's what
Watch
we're
Google
discussing.
and the tech names.
Mr. President.
Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity, and then you have 5 minutes to get your membership.
Is Germany doing enough on defense?
What?
Defense spending.
Is Germany doing enough on defense?
The chancellor wants to.
Germany doing
The chancellor wants to spend 3.5.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I haven't discussed it very much. I know that you're spending more money on defense now, and quite a bit more money. And that's a positive thing. I'm not sure that General MacArthur would have said it's positive. You know, he wouldn't like it, but I sort of think it's good. You understand what I mean by that, right? He made a statement: "Never let Germany rearm." And I said, I always think about that when he says, "Sir, we're spending more money on defense." I say, "Ooh, is that a good thing or a bad thing?" I think it's a good thing. But, you know, at least to a certain point. There'll be a point when I'll say, "Please don't arm anymore, if you don't mind." We'll be watching him.
President Biden.
Yeah, Biden. You said Biden.
Your predecessor dismissed your auto pen investigations and made all the decisions during the presidency. I'm curious your reaction to his dismissal.
Well, look, the auto pen, I think, is the big scandal outside of the rigged election of 2020. I think the biggest scandal of the last many years is the auto pen. And who's using it? I happen to think I know, okay, because I'm here. And I'm not a big auto pen person, fortunately. I'm glad. I'm very glad. It's an easy way out. But it's a very bad thing, very dangerous. You know, I sign important documents. Usually when they put documents in front of you, they're important. Even if you're signing ambassadorships I consider that important. I think it's inappropriate. You have somebody that's devoting 4 years of their life or more.
All right, there
to
it
being
is.
an ambassador. I think you really deserve that.
Good
person
thing
deserves
German
to get a real
spending. That's the
signature,
latest
not an
one.
auto
And
pen
then again, it's just on the.
signature.
I'm
And
going
I
to
can tell
China.
auto
That was,
pen
I think,
easily.
it.
I can look at it. Like two
Okay,
little
even Meta's
pinholes
playing along now.
from pulling the paper, right? You always see the pinholes. It's real easy to tell about auto pen. I think it's very disrespectful to people when they get an auto pen signature.
European Union has
Outside,
made
auto pen to me
changes
are
to its
used when
negotiating
thousands of
trade
letters come in
terms, says
from young
sources.
people all over the
No,
country.
this
You
is
wanna get them
separate.
back. And, you know, people
This
use
isn't.
auto
This
pens
is from
to
Reuters.
send,
They're dropping. I don't know
a
if it's
little
bullish. It
signature
sounds
at the bottom
bullish,
of a
but
letter.
there might
We
be a
have
couple
thousands of them.
caveats.
We get
But yeah, that's coming out
thousands
right now,
of
not
letters a
on the
week.
speech. This is from
And
Reuters.
it's not
They're saying the
possible
EU has
to-
made
I'd
it
like to do
changes.
it myself.
Von der
You can't
Leyen
do
seemed
it.
to respond more
To me,
swiftly
that's
to
where
political
auto
questions
pens
that
start
arise in
and
today's
stop.
talks.
But I don't think
So it's a
I'm
little
sure
bullish,
that
a
he
little
didn't know many
negative,
of the
because
things.
again,
Look, he was never for
Von der
open
Leyen,
borders.
and then talking
He
about
was
responding
never for
swiftly.
transgender for everybody. He was never for men playing in women's sports. I mean, he changed. I mean, all of these things that changed so radically. I don't think he had any idea that what was. Frankly, I said it during the debate, and I say it now. He didn't have much of an idea what was going on.
Mr. President,
He shouldn't be. I mean, essentially, whoever used the auto pen was the president. And that is wrong. It's illegal. It's so bad, and it's so disrespectful to our country.
Mr. President.
Yeah, I like Apple for the China play, but it's really not moving. Keep eyes on those if you want them. Okay, and watch if Meta does. Again, did we break 6,000 yet? I think we're right there. 5999. Like I told you, this 599 is difficult. So yeah, and then equal weight's going
A
more.
lot of them, about 45,000. It's a lot of troops. It's a city when you think of it. That's good economic development. They're highly paid troops, and they spend a lot of money in Germany. But the relationship with Germany is very important. Yeah, we'll be doing that. No problem.
May I say a few words in German?
Yes, please.
So, danke für die Frage. Wir sind hier im Weißen Haus und ich bedanke mich beim Präsidenten für den sehr freundlichen
Homeboy
Empfang.
sound like my girlfriend's dad.
In diesem weltweit bekannten Raum.
This is how I make fun of him. I'm like, this is how they say, go, Huscheln, Haffeln, Fufla.
Unserer Zusammenarbeit vor. Ich freue mich sehr darüber.
You speak English because you speak such good English. Is it as good as your German, would you say?
Trump's like, do you speak English? Is it good English?
I try to understand almost everything and to speak as good.
Yeah, Trump says we'll leave troops in Germany if they'd like to have them.
It's an achievement, actually.
Mr. President, can I follow up on the auto pen? Thank you, Mr. President. The criticism that I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen, regarding Elon Musk and your big, beautiful bill. What's your reaction to that? Do you think it in any way hurts passage in the Senate, which, of course, what is you're seeking?
Well, look, you know, I've always liked Elon, and it's always very surprised. You saw
Can
the
we hear
words
Pump It
he had
Up?
for me, the words
So
that-
kindly,
he hasn't
you will
said
never
anything
hear
about
Pump It
me
Up
that's
again.
bad. I'd rather have him
So
criticize
stop
me than
asking
the bill,
me,
because
kindly,
the bill
please.
is
Please,
incredible.
I'm begging
It's
you,
the
actually.
biggest cut in the
Please.
history of our country.
But yeah,
We've
it's never
cut.
happening ever again.
It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts.
Elon Musk.
It's the biggest tax cut. You would say, people's taxes will
It's
go way
funny what
down.
they're doing with the bill,
It's the
though. I
biggest
have a
tax
funny
cut in
update for you.
history. It's, we are doing things in that bill
Remind
that
me
are
about the funny
unbelievable.
update.
And when you look at what we're doing for small businesses, for people, for middle-income people, all of the things that we're doing, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And, you know, Elon's upset because we took the
I
EV
think Freddy
mandate,
Krueger is more
which is a lot of
important.
money for electric
I would rather
vehicles.
listen to him.
And, you know, they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles, and they want us to pay billions of dollars in subsidy. And, you know, Elon knew this from the beginning. He knew it for a long time ago.
I know, that's why Josh made a video a month ago.
I would say,
and both
JD,
Trump supporters and Trump
right
haters flamed him for it. Yes.
Mr. Secretary,
Everybody knew a month ago.
Right from
Weird.
the beginning. But I know that it disturbed him. He wanted, and rightfully, you know, he recommended somebody from
IWM, Russell's breaking out now.
Well.
Look, high ticker's
Sure,
fully gassed,
him,
bro. You're going to do the
run
brake
NASA,
or it'll fail,
and
but
I didn't think it
you're
was
getting the
appropriate.
move beneath the
And, you know, I
surface
happen to
right
be
now.
A Democrat, like totally Democrat, and I say, you know, look, we won. We get certain privileges, and one of the privileges we don't have to appoint a Democrat. NASA is very important. We have great people. General Kane is going to be picking somebody with our. We'll be checking him out, seeing. But he wanted that person, a certain person.
Okay, Microsoft. I don't know why it's still not moving though. Like, look at the high ticker's almost fully gassed and the SPY is pinned. So it's gonna move, but I hope you see this. Look, you were just almost fully gassed and it hasn't even inched.
With the black eye, I said, "Do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup." But he said, "No, I don't think so," which is interesting and very nice. He wants to be who he is, so you could make that statement too, I guess. Look, Elon.
Musk upset because the EV mandate. That's what Trump said. Holy
I don't
shit.
know well anymore. I was surprised because
Trump just said it was the fucking mandate.
We had a wonderful send-off. He said wonderful things about me. You couldn't have nicer.
Oh damn.
Best thing.
Damn. I thought the media was just like talking shit.
And I am right about.
Trump just said that Elon was mad about that.
A great big beautiful bill because that's what it is. And again, biggest tax cuts in history, biggest economic development moves anywhere. We've never done anything like it. Business is spurred. And I don't know if you've seen the numbers, but the numbers came out. Even the CBO, which is run by Democrats, said that we're going to be doing, you know, I'd like you to discuss it, the 2.8 trillion, that CBO. This is a group of people that are Democrats. They're very hostile.
Yeah, that's
us.
it. Watch it. I kind of want to play it, but again, I've already
phenomenal
played
numbers,
Watch It. I'm not going to ruin a good day.
Yes, sir.
But yeah,
So
watch that
what
to the
we've
downside.
seen is
That's crazy. I thought the media was
CEO
just being like liars, you know? I thought they were just trying to
deficit
start
from the
drama,
bill
but
disagree
he
with
literally
using
just
the
said,
CBO scoring.
Elon's, he's bothered about
They
the
came out
EV
and
mandate.
scored the tariff revenue. We think it'll be the minimum of 2.8 trillion over the 10-year
I'm not going to play it
window,
because
which
I'm
actually puts the
listening
bill
to
in
broader
surplus
strategy of
because
I've
the
won
tariff
already,
revenue,
so I'm not going to
which they
ruin
won't
it.
do.
But I would have played a
gives you
downside
tremendous
play.
surplus, but we're not allowed to use that. For some reason, they say scoring. Nobody knows what scoring means. Maybe a couple of people, but nobody.
That's true.
Somebody sits in the background. They say, "Well,
I
we're
made a
not gonna
video a
allow
month
that."
ago on
They're
this.
not allowing other things that we have. That
All
are
of it.
tremendously
From
profitable
the
for our
debt
country.
being
But
too high
if you saw
to
the
how
other
they
day,
scored it,
CNBC,
and I
they
even
came
showed
out
you
with,
all of them.
Numbers, and the people on the show, very good people. I've watched them for a long time. They couldn't believe the numbers, how good they are. The numbers were incredible. And that was personal income and also very low inflation. We have very low inflation. We're down to 2% now, and maybe even lower than that. And when I took it over, it was a mess. Remember, we had the worst inflation probably in the history of our country. They say 48 years, but let's say I think it's worse than that. So we had the worst inflation in the history of our country.
Oh, look, it's going to do it, but look at the high ticker, bro. Now it's finally moving. Let's go. 6,000. 5993138.
It's going down maybe to 1.
5.9.
It's like perfect.
Oh,
It's perfect.
6.4.
For certain reasons.
Oh, 6.8. It's going higher.
To listen to.
Oh, it's lower now. 1.9.
Perfect inflation.
Well, 4.
0.4. Everything. Remember,
0.38.
eggs. We weren't going to buy another egg for the next 20 years. It was so expensive, right? Remember? You guys all hit me about eggs. Eggs have come down 400%.
Oh, we're down to
5.988. Having eggs for breakfast.
Fuck.
But if you look at gasoline,
oh, 5.9901.
Always the most important because it's the energy.
Oh, 5.
The biggest factor. That's what happened. He
oh,
screwed up our energy policy.
5.992.
And everything.
Oh, 1.2.
But now energy is way down.
Oh, back to 9.8.
They have states where you're at $1.98 a gallon for gasoline.
Oh, it's going lower.
The costs have
we just went down as much as we needed to go up.
One of the things
9934.
I read on the border. We have the best border in the history of our country. 99.99%.
4.4.
It was
4.4.
last week.
3.7.
3 people came in. 2 of them for medical reasons. We let them in because one of them had a heart attack. I think it was a nice thing to do, and one of them had something else.
2-5.
So we've never had. I had very good numbers
1-8
for 4 years, but we
2-2
really topped it. And I want to thank Christy and Tom
Oh,
Holman.
4.
They've done a fantastic job.
Oh,
Nobody
1-7.
mentions that anymore. Remember, a few months
1-8.
ago, the border was a total disaster. People
Oh,
were coming
1-2.
in by the hundreds of thousands of people.
Oh,
a
2-4.
day, a week, a month.
1-3.
I mean, we had a month. 2 million people came in.
28.
The border was being overrun, and
38.
a lot of bad people, criminals, murderers,
29.
drug dealers. We had some of the worst people in the world.
Oh,
coming in from all over the
99.
world.
No.
It's totally
Oh,
closed.
1-7.
And you know what? People are coming into our country, but they're coming
Oh,
in
6.
legally. So we've done a great job.
3-7.
Elon knew that. Elon endorsed me
Oh,
very
1-3.
strongly. He actually went up and campaigned for me.
1-8.
I think I would have won. Susie would say I would have won Pennsylvania
2-4.
easily anyway, even if the governor ran, the
3.
real governor, not the governor from Minnesota, who's
Oh,
he's a
9.
sick puppy. That guy, that poor guy, I feel sorry for him.
Oh, 4-4.
But, they made a bad choice
It's here.
with him.
3-8.
But
Oh,
if you pick
it's here.
Shapiro
I
or
feel it. It's
anybody
still
else,
3.
I spoke
No,
to
it's
him
not here.
recently
Is
about
it?
his,
Oh, come on. 2-4.
house being set on fire, which was terrible.
Oh, 4-8.
But if they picked him, I would have won Pennsylvania.
6-0. 7.
But I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had
Yeah,
no problem with
he
it.
is
All of a
talking
sudden,
about
he had a problem.
Elon.
And he only developed
Musk
the
endorsed me
problem
very
when he found
strongly.
out
I would
that
have won
we're gonna have to cut
anyways.
the EV
Uh-oh.
mandate because that's
Are they about to
billions
beef?
and billions of dollars.
Oh,
And it really is
Megan.
unfair. We want to
That's
have
weird.
cars of all types. Electric, we want to have electric. We want to have
Megan.
a gasoline, combustion. We want to have different. We want to have hybrids. We want to have all. We want to be able to sell everything.
Yeah, we didn't hit it, you
And
guys.
When that was
We
cut,
didn't break
and
the
Congress
level.
wanted to cut it,
After all of that,
it became a little bit different.
now you're down.
I can understand
5-9-9.
that,
Now you
but
just dropped 2 points.
he knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody. And he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape, he said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
Mr. President, I just want to clarify, did he raise any of these concerns with you privately before he raised them publicly? And this is the guy you put in charge of cutting spending. Should people
And then
not
listen,
take him seriously about spending?
if you
now? He
like,
seems all sour grapes.
if you hear like the drama between Elon and
I'll
Trump,
be
and
honest,
you're
I
like
think he
getting
misses the
excited,
place.
you're a
He got
female.
out there and all of a sudden he wasn't in this beautiful Oval Office, and he wasn't. He's got nice
Okay,
offices
I
too.
hope you're not
But
getting,
there's something
because you
about
know
this
some
when I was
people are
telling the
loving this
chancellor,
drama right
this
now.
is where it is.
You're like,
People
oh
come in
yes,
here,
finally.
even from Germany. They come
Finally.
in, they walk into the Oval Office, and it's just
RNS,
a special place.
WNS.
World War
Oh,
I,
WNS
it started
pop.
and it ended here, and World War II, and so many other things. Everything big comes right from this beautiful space. It's now much more beautiful than it was 6 months ago. A lot of good things are happening in this room, and I'll tell you, he's not the first. People leave my administration, and they love us, and then at some point they miss it so badly, and some of them embrace it, and some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it.
Media loves this. Yeah, I thought they were just lying. Blackstone among bidders for 800 million property
and the
in
glamour's
Paris.
gone. The whole world is different, and they become hostile. I don't know what it is. Someday you'll write a book about it, and you'll let us know. Yeah.
Seems the president speaking of ending wars in this group.
I know. I appreciate the honesty between both Elon and Trump. But like I'm saying, I told you this a month ago. I don't know why
Well, look,
everyone's reacting
he got
now.
hit.
It reminds
He's
me
been
of the
doing
deep
hitting,
six shit.
So I understand it, but he got hit hard.
All right, Spy coming down.
He's playing games. I think I've always said he wanted the whole thing. I thought he wanted the entire everything having to do with Ukraine. That's something that would have never happened if I were president. The election was rigged. I didn't get to be president, but I got to be president now. And I think it's a much more important presidency. Other than a couple of things like that, the war would have never happened. The war with Ukraine, with Putin, would have never happened, ever, not even a chance. And it didn't happen for 4 years. And it wasn't thought of. I used to talk to him about Ukraine a lot. It was the apple of his eye, but he would have never done what he did. And I think mistakes were made by him, but I think mistakes were made by other people. The president should have never allowed that war. Biden should have never allowed that war to happen. If you had the right guy in here, that war would have never happened. Israel would have never happened.
Yeah,
with
wait a
Hamas.
minute. Bonds, you guys. Bonds.
That would have never
So
happened.
you might.
The
I
attack
don't think we're gonna break
on
it
Israel
yet.
would have never
If
happened
bonds keep
because
bidding, we're
Iran
not going to
was
break
broke.
6,000
They
until
had
the
no
bonds
money.
go
They
back
had
down
no money
again,
to
probably.
give to
And
Hamas
remember,
or
that was the
Hezbollah
early
or anybody
indicator.
else. And all of that would have never
Elon
happened.
tweets,
Inflation
slim,
wouldn't
beautiful
have
bill
happened.
for the
It
win.
was caused mostly by energy. And the Biden administration messed up my great energy policy. We were down into the 190 a gallon. And it would have never happened. It was caused by energy and their bad spending on the Green New Scam and other things that they spent on. But all of those things would have never happened. But maybe most importantly,
wing, restaurants,
the
all
war,
right.
Chancellor.
I don't know
with-
how much longer this
with,
has, but we got to move on
Russia
over.
would
So we're
never
going to move
have
on
happened
to
with
Philo.
Ukraine.
I hope you have a membership.
was
We're
something
doing it
that was,
earlier
you know,
because
I
of
know
complainers.
with Putin a lot.
So
There was
just remember,
no
we have
chance,
many
zero.
hours for free. I can
And,
make
you
them
know, a lot of
non-free.
people say, how do you know?
We
For
can
4
raise
years it didn't
membership
happen. There was
prices,
never a chance of it
and the
happening.
sad
And he
reality, the
understood the
stats are
consequences.
1
Now,
to 4. So about 25% of
it's a
you
shame.
are
And
the
when
ones
you
who get
see
bothered.
all of those
The other
people, they came out with a report
75%
today
love it, and they get more
that,
advantages because now I'm going to take
millions
off the
of people-
delay for them. See,
millions of
so
people died.
we need
Much
everybody.
more
You're
than
either
people
for or
thought.
against, baby. Make
And
up
I've
your
been saying
mind.
that for a long
So
time.
you let
The
me know.
amount
But
of
other than
death
that,
in
we
that
are going to
war
move
is
over
far
now.
greater than
It
the
should take you there, but
news
I'll
has
post
been
the link,
reporting, or that,
and I will see
frankly,
you
that
guys
either
around
side
Power
has been
Hour.
reporting. It's a very sad thing,
Mhm.
and I can tell you, just speaking for the chancellor, because we speak about it, he feels the same way. He wants to
Complain
see
will
it
never
end.
stop.
Would you like to say
It's a certain type of complaining.
I'm here, Mr.
It's not
President,
like the
to
normal
talk with
people.
you
It's the
later
people
on
who've been here for years,
on
like
how
I'm
we
saying.
could,
You guys know
contribute
me.
to that
You support. Y'all got followings
are
on the
looking
internet, and you will not say a word or
measures and
support
for
the channel
instruments to
unless it
bring
is
this
to talk
terrible
shit or
war
complain
to an end.
or to talk
And
shit
may I
about my
remind you
God.
that we are having
So
June
unacceptable
6th
completely.
tomorrow. This is
Very simple.
D-Day
And if
anniversary,
you're going to tell me
when the
that I
Americans
am
once
charging
ended
for everything
war
and ignoring the other hours and
I think
years,
this
I will
is
make it very
your
clear
hand
then.
and
If
specifically
y'all want to play
ours.
that game.
That was not
Very
a pleasant
simple.
day for you.
Very,
No,
very
that
simple.
was not
And I have no
pleasant.
problem.
It's
Like
not
I
a great
said,
Run,
a
Mr. President,
majority
this
of
was
people
the
in here,
liberation of
they
my
support it
country
all
from
because they're
Nazi
benefiting.
dictatorship.
That's all.
That's true.
And we know what we owe you, but this is the reason why
So I'll
I'm
see you
saying
there,
that
baby.
America is
Amen.
again in a very
Peace.
strong position to do